impossible. Still I ask myself, are we our game? It's not logical, but you contemplate, are we am I?
Ah! They're making me do it again. Ah! Oh, wait. I partially own this company. I'm here on my own volition. Isn't that great? Wow. It's the Blue and White and Bad Bowl. New York, Toronto, catch the basement. It's not great. It's not a great sales pitch. It's really not awesome. It's not. Anyway. Well, listen, I'm pumped to be here. Jesse Blake is here, but he's here for Maddie, not for me. Well, yeah, Maddie's like always. You know what? There is a bit. They're a little too close, those two. Okay, they spent a lot of time together in those editing bays, and I just kind of feel like, you know what? You two. Maddie says to tell Jesse, "Hey, handsome." You see, I'm feeling like there's like a little fiefdom, a little alliance going here, and in the Survivor atmosphere that we create here at SDPN, I'm not sure I'm good with it. All right, I'm not sure I'm good with it. Okay, I'm on to you guys. I know. And by the way, I have the immunity idol. Just throwing that out there. They are plotting something. Thank you, Justin, who is on the chat. He says, I don't trust them. I don't think you should. I don't think you should until they show us that they're trustworthy. And I trust them not. Listen, shout out to you for being here. If you were here last night, shout out to you for being here last night. It actually turned into a good game. I was kind of surprised. I think you probably were kind of surprised too. Turned into a fun game after the first period. Don't know that that's going to be the same because sometimes, okay, here's the deal. Sometimes with two bad teams, you get a total punch up. Like, hey, screw it. We're going at each other. We got some stuff we got to do, all that sort of thing. Yeah, you sometimes get that. A lot of the times, though, and I kind of faintly remember the Leafs and Rangers playing last time, and both had kind of quit at that point. Even though they weren't eliminated from the playoffs, they're still not. Both had kind of quit. And I'm kind of concerned that that's what we're going to get tonight. I don't know, though. Leafs team unity seems to be picking up lately. Rangers team unity has never been there. They got 10 shots in Mika Zibanejad's 1,000th game. I guess if you like round numbers, it's perfect. 1,000th game, 10 shots. They're multiples of each other. It's a beautiful thing. But the reality of it is the Rangers are awful. They're, to quote Shaq, they're horror awful. They're just terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. So what kind of a game is this Toronto crowd going to get tonight? Because you got the Leafs on the second half of a back-to-back. They win an emotional one in Boston. And then you got the New York Rangers who people are like, don't you have any pride? And the Rangers are like, no, not really. It's a strange situation we find ourselves in tonight, but you know what? It should be fun. And I think this is a good time to kind of remind people, and I'm going to mention this throughout the show, is that Jesse Blake is streaming on Friday, Steve Nangle streaming on Saturday. That means we're having a 5-stream week because I streamed Sunday, and now I've streamed Tuesday and Wednesday. Jesse will be doing the Blue Jays home opener on Friday, so I hope you're tuning in for that. His first game since, well, the Olympics, I guess, but his first baseball game since Game 7. Brutal. Meme Empress, super bubble wrappers versus off-color candy canes. Sure. Okay, I like that. We got Meme Empress, also obligatory touchdown, Tampa Bay, fire the cannon. I don't even know what's going on in the Lightning game right now. I guess, is there a Lightning game going on right now? I know there's only one other game in the NHL, and the Sabres are the ones playing it. Is it Sabres Lightning tonight? No way. Is it actually? Oh, it's Sabres Bruins. Well, there you go. Second half of a back-to-back for the Bruins against the Sabres. Effing yuck. And by the way, the Bruins are already on the power play. Ashkova 7591 says, today will be a contest of the ages. The race to see who can get the least amount of shots on goal in a game. It's true. Oh, you think we're bad? Well, get a load of this pathetic. I think that's what it's got to be, right? I can't imagine it's going to be anything else. 182 Kramer, I love an original 6 matchup. Normally I would too, but I'm worried about this one. I'm not going to lie. Rangers fan 30 says, go Leafs go. Doesn't want us getting into the conversation for the first overall pick because it's looking more and more like Veerhoff or Steinberg or is it, that guy. His name's Gavin McKenna. Could end up in New York. Could end up in the big time. We'll see. The Zamboni driver says, I have cheered for the Rangers since Gretzky was on the team. I remember that last year with Gretzky, and I remember watching his last game, and I remember thinking, what do you mean they're not going to make the playoffs this year? What do you mean? There's no salary cap. Just buy the team. And they did try to do that like going forward, and it didn't work for them either. Remember when they bought, it was like Valerie Kaminsky and Theo Fleury and a few other guys. They signed these huge contracts. By the way, the Blue Jays are in the house right now. There's Davis Schneider. And it looks like is that Cody Ponce or Dylan Cease? I think it's Dylan Cease. They're there. And by the way, Davis Schneider did officially make the Blue Jays. It was between him and Leo Jimenez. Jimenez was sent down. Davis Schneider has to be on that team. I mean, the guy hit a walk or a home run in Game 5 of the World Series. You're not going to let him make the team? Come on. Colin Martin says, I was going to watch baseball, but then I saw your face, and now I'm a believer. I know that song. Not a trace of doubt in your mind, right, Colin? Are you in love? Anyway. Lee, Detroit, Michigan says, when I was a youth in the 70s, I had a tabletop hockey game. It was the Leafs versus the Rangers. Best board game I ever had. Tabletop hockey games are the greatest. The ones I always got in, I had a top corner hockey one. Do you guys remember that? Where the player could actually shoot the puck? Top corner hockey was amazing. After a while, I learned how to really roof it. And my friends would come over, and it was the only time, because I was a horrible athlete, it was the only time that I could beat them in anything. So it was good. SLS 98. Adam, I have a song to distract you from the battle of mid. Okay. Blue Jays, let's play ball. We are 48 hours away from it. I hope you guys are ready for that. Justin is making a good point. We actually have table hockey in the office, and there will be content. I'm so excited for this. I'm going to whoop Steve and Jesse's ass. All right? It's what it is. Caffeine Supreme says, I'm guessing McKenna goes to Calgary. And Chaos says, or maybe in Vancouver, Adam, like he should be. Let's see who's got it tonight. It's going to be Nylander, Cowan, Tavares on the line. And we know that Calle Jarnkrok is in the lineup tonight, even though we also know that Calle Jarnkrok has had a deal with a Swedish club since midway through the season. Pizzetta is in. Wait a second. Maybe this has not been updated. Oh no, it has not been updated. That's why. The lines are updated as of this. We're going to have to see here. For the Rangers, do you think that after getting your ass handed to you by the Ottawa Senators, and like 10 shots in a game is brutal, right? Do you think that they come back and go, no, we have to win this one just to feel good about ourselves? Do you think they care? Because I'm not sure they do. Second line for the Leafs, Nyes, Domi, Robertson. That's the one that hasn't taken the ice. Michelli, Grew, Joshua as the third line. Lorentz, Quillen, and Calle Jarnkrok. So Pizzetta is out. Calle Jarnkrok is in. Calle's playing probably his last 5 or 10 games as a Leaf. 4-year contract. Turned out to be not a bad one. I mean, it's a shame about the injuries last year. He seems like a good guy. But I don't know why they're playing him at this point when you could be playing literally anyone else and getting a sense of what they look like in NHL minutes. But, I'm not the head coach, and thank goodness for that. It sounds like a brutal job. Goofy Goober, do we want the Leafs to win or lose? I'm confused. I don't know. Like Jesse has been pounding the drum of they should win as many games as they can to decrease the chances of Boston's pick being good. But I don't know if it's potentially too late for that. I think the chips are just going to fall where they may. If the Leafs have to give Boston the 6th overall pick, well, eat shit, Toronto. Boston ate your lunch again. And if not, then, hey, maybe you got a top 5 pick, and that changes the face of your franchise. Steven and Man. Instead of doing a live stream, can you do a live history corner of the emo war from 1932? Yeah, I can. As Will Cooley takes a shot at the net. How about I give you the Coles notes on it, at least from what I can remember from when I did research on it, at the first commercial break here, which will be roughly at the 15-minute mark. So just before or just after the 15-minute mark. Meme Empress says, we won by a touchdown last night, Adam, LMAO. Oh, you mean the Lightning? You didn't win by a touchdown. You won 6-3. That's not by a touchdown. That's by a field goal. Is it not? Am I wrong? All right. I'm looking at these Rangers players, and I'm not recognizing a lot of names. And I think that's probably a good thing for them. Because they're trying to probably figure out who the heck should be on this team next year. Right? At least a little bit. Like, especially in the depth area. Yeah, I know who Ty Carty is. I know Taylor Radish is. Brodzinski, I don't know. I'm just saying. Adam Soroka, I don't know a lot about Adam Soroka. I don't know much about Vincent Iorio. I don't. Matthew Robertson, don't know a lot about him. Gonna have to do some research. This is what I want the Leafs to do. Just give me a bunch of no-name guys. Just pull Jeff off the street. Yo, Jeff, what's up? Where are you from? Bowmanville? Cool. Get on the Leafs. Can you play? Also, I have to ask Rangers fans. Rangers fans, is Adam Fox good anymore? By the way, they have 4 shots on the Leafs already. How hilarious is that? 4th line out for the Leafs. It's going to be Lorentz, Quillen, and Jarnkrok. And I know that Barube just hates playing Jake Quillen, but he's got no choice. Lorentz throws it deep. Leafs have allowed 4 shots already in this period. Not terribly dangerous shots, but they have happened. You're hoping to get some sort of something out of someone tonight. It seems like it's a little flat out there. I'm not going to lie to you. Could change at any moment. Maybe somebody throws a bad hit and things get spicy, but it feels flat tonight. You know, sometimes you're watching and you're like, okay, Rangers fans, tell me about Adam Fox. Tell me about what happened. In the chat right now, Rangers fans, until I do the emo war thing at the first intermission, or first commercial break, what is going on with Adam Fox? Why is he not the Norris Trophy winner that he used to be? SLS 98, I'm ready for the Rangers, Panthers, or Blackhawks to win the draft lottery this year. Gary Bettman with an E will find a way. Almost Jerry Bettman. Joe Perez says it's the Emu War, not the Emo War. No, the Emo War happened in high school. And it was won by society in general. We all benefited from the Emo War. And then went to the Black Parade. Don't tell me you don't love that song, okay? Don't tell me you didn't listen to everything on that Fall Out Boy album. Well, few of them. Their second album's my favorite. I did really like that album. Canucks losing out on McKenna would be diabolical. They would. They're so bad. But now here's my question. Do you want, Pettersson clearly hates it in Vancouver. Do we want McKenna stepping into a situation where Pettersson's still there, or do we trade him? Oh, here we go. We got some Black Parade knowers. Let's go. Power Pat 221. The podcast talked about trades not happening. Oh, here we go. Leafs out front. McCabe scores. It's the Leafs' second shot of the game. They create chaos out front, and it's the third line creating shit. The Gru Crew, as they're known, out there causing issues, and Jake McCabe gets a goal, and the Rangers, who have dominated most of the play in this game, go down 1-0. How very Rangers of them. It starts with Dakota Joshua creating that turnover. Michelli gets the puck out front, and nobody's able to strip him, and there's like 4 Rangers out front, but nobody's doing anything. Look at them. They're all 5 of them are there. They're all 5 there. They're all with it. Like, nobody gets the puck. Who's the man on high on McCabe? Wow. That is some reckless-ass defense. Holy moly. That's crazy. That's Leafs level bad. Colin Martin just said, hype. Dropped a $6.99 super chat. Thank you, Colin. That's very kind of you. Honestly, that Rangers goal was kind of hilarious. Like, what's happening there? They're all kind of like, we're in the right position, but we're not going to put our stick in and get the puck. That's the other guy's job. Zach said, welcome to an average night as a Rangers fan. They don't seem to know what they're doing. Also, can I just be honest? I don't think Mike Sullivan's a great coach. There, I said it. I've said it a lot. BG says, bench Bo Gru. He's the best we have. Yeah, we're trying to lose this game here, Rangers. Come on. The Rangers have a .250 points percentage, 250, when they're scored on first this season. Now, their points percentage is pretty awful anyway, but that's a really bad sign if you're a Rangers fan and you've got money on this game. That's a bad sign. Power Pat, I'll get back to you, buddy. Don't you worry. The podcast about trades not happening. What is your ideal return for a Matthews trade? If it were to happen, where would he be traded? Well, first off, let me tell you, there was a report last night about Matthews being traded, or somebody who said they have a source about Matthews being traded. Let me tell you something. If somebody had a real legitimate source like that, and they knew for sure that Matthews was going to get traded, you would expect more insiders to know about it because agents and GMs and players, they all talk to more than one. That's a BS thing. So I'm just going to tell you right now, Matthews isn't getting traded. At least not yet. He might eventually, but not yet. Now, Pat, I have to go do the Emu War thing, not the Emo War thing, the Emu War thing. We're going to come back and I'll tell you because I have something in mind for that. How about that for a tease? Now, History Corner. Now, remember, my facts are off the top of my enormous dome. My head is quite large. And I don't have all of the facts. But from what I can remember from when I talked about it on the podcast a few years ago, the Emu War happened in Australia. And they were overrun, as Australia often is, with crazy-ass wildlife, in this case, emus. And here's the thing with emus is they apparently destroy crops. They are, I believe they're short human-sized, and they can just wipe out farmers' fields all the time. So what the Australian government decided to do was go, hey, we got a bunch of former soldiers from World War I. What if we gave them a bunch of the weapons from World War I and we hunt down the emus? And that's what they did. They brought those gigantic, those the machine guns that you see in World War I movies that have that big barrel on them, and they've got a disc shaped like almost like a frisbee as the magazine, and that, you know what I'm talking about? And they would bring those out to the fields and try to hunt these things down. And what they found was, from what I remember anyway, they wiped out a ton of emus and were completely unsuccessful. Completely unsuccessful when it comes to actually wiping the emu population out. And I believe they eventually gave up and just said, okay, screw it. Now, that's what I remember. If I'm wrong about some of those details, I apologize. It's only something I've looked at once. But it's kind of hilarious because they spent a bunch of money, hired a bunch of veterans, and oh my God, it was bad. Yeah. I don't know. Emu, am I mispronouncing it? Doesn't matter. Now, Pat wanted to know about a Matthews trade. So if you're trading Austin Matthews, I want you to understand that your return is not going to be good. It might be good. It's not going to be great, and it's for sure not going to be excellent. Because the acquiring team is going to have a couple of things. A, they're going to be a big city in the United States. B, they are going to be a team winning now. So you're not going to get a comparable player back. It's just very, very unlikely that happens, unless you find another team that's got a disgruntled person, right? And so long story short, what the Canucks got for Quinn Hughes, I think, is roughly comparable to what you might get for Matthews. You're going to get a good roster player. Marco Rossi's a good roster player, capable like 50, 60 points a year. That's great, but he's a bit undersized. Not really sure how useful that is in the playoffs. But for the Canucks, they don't care. They're a long ways off from the playoffs. They got Zeev Buium, high-end draft pick, defensive prospect. Could turn into something. Could just be okay. He's not Quinn Hughes, right? You got Liam Ogren. Man, I'm not sure how that's going to go. And you've got the Wild's first-round pick, which I think is going to be, this year, is going to be what? It's going to be close to like 28, 29, 30. Oh, big shot on Joseph Wall. Big save. So all in all, you still don't end up with the best player in the trade, which is how you say, that's how you win a trade, is you end up with the best player. So any team that trades for Matthews is going to win the trade just based on the fact that they're very likely to end up with the best player. If you're rebuilding, that's not a bad thing, but it's not great. Here's what I think with Austin Matthews. The guy has played under an oppressive system, and he's been used in insane defensive situations for 2 years. I don't know if Austin Matthews is a 70-goal scorer anymore, but I do think he's a 50-goal scorer, and he's elite defensively. So if you get the right coach in here who actually uses him properly, because I think Craig Berube's methods are a bit dated, as much as I like Craig the guy, I think he's out of date. I think you need new money, new minds. You need a Dan Muse type to come in and bring fresh ideas to the table. Think about what Spencer Carberry was able to bring to the Washington Capitals, revitalize their offense. And I know the Caps aren't that great, but they were pretty damn good last year. And they can be good again. So that is what it's going to be. Big save by Paul. JT Miller's in there against Max Domi, digging for that puck. But yeah, it's not great. Listen, I don't think the Leafs are going to trade Matthews anytime soon unless he's like, this summer, get me the hell out of here. But I don't think that's happening. Like, he's made the playoffs 9 years in a row with this franchise. They've given him every opportunity to win. If it takes a year or two to get things back on the rails, well, that's normal, man. What's not normal is making the playoffs 9 years in a row. Very few teams ever do that, especially in a 32-team league. So this team has given him ample opportunities to win. And let's be honest, has Austin had a standout playoff performance that was multiple series long, the way that Rantanen has, the way that McKinnon has, the way that Makar has, the way that Kucherov and Sidney Crosby and Geno Malkin, any of those guys? No, he hasn't. So some of this is on him too. So if the Leafs and Matthews want to win, I think they're better off together than apart. That's my point. So anyway, that's my thought on that. Tyson Barnett dropped 5 SDPN memberships. Thank you, Tyson. Love you, man. Thank you. Shez0102. Australia is currently losing the battle with cane toads. I did not know that. Steeson Schiller says, I believe the name you're looking for is the Lewis Pew Pew. We can't say, you can't say Pew Pew, the actual name. I'm worried about like that affecting the algorithm too. But you're right. That is a Lewis gun. Oh, I just said it. Yes, Lewis gun. Ashkova says, and we never let the Aussies forget that they surrendered to birds. Joking aside, emus are no joke with those massive talons. They are. They're kind of a mess. And I also love Henderson with it. The emu, like in emu war. That's, you know what? I can't say that joke out loud, but it looks really good printed the way that you have it. It's very creative, and I appreciate that. I didn't mean to say gun, but I said gun. Right? Oh, well. Dolan says, Adam, does Calle Jarnkrok have photos of Craig Barube that he's blackmailing with? I think Craig Barube is respecting Calle Jarnkrok's career. This is how Craig Barube would view it. Calle's put in a good career. It's basically at the NHL level over. I'm going to play him a few more games just so he gets that last little bit of experience, and then that's going to be it. As the puck sails over the Leafs net and into the netting itself of the boards, and the puck is dead, and we're going to get a face-off here. I think it's stupid that you would do that. Calle Jarnkrok's played many NHL games. I think you probably want to try some rookies. But there seems to be, and Chris Johnson alluded to this a couple of days ago on TSN 1050, he said there seems to be a big disconnect at the Leafs organization, which to me means the general manager and the coach do not see eye to eye, and the coach is not doing what the general manager wants him to do. That means that Barube is gone, at very least. The question will be, is Treliving gone? We don't know. Tyson Barnett, I don't get is AM34 still a 69 goal scorer anymore? Was Ovechkin or Stamkos a bust after their 60 goal seasons? It's a peak season. Elite goal scorers flirt with 50 every season. And I think, Tyson, you're absolutely right. And if you look at Matthews' goal scoring over the last couple of years, pull the injuries out of it, he's scoring at roughly that pace. Maybe not exactly, but high 40s. If you have a number one center who is elite defensively, who scores high 40s or 50 goals a season, like what else are you looking for? What else do you want? At a certain point, him getting an extra 10 or 15 goals beyond that, yeah, that's nice, but maybe hire some other players who could score too. Steeson Schiller says Jarnkrok isn't blackmailing him. He's the one who gave him the black eye. He won by trial of combat for this roster spot. You know what? I forgot about that. You're damn straight. Damn. You're absolutely right. Now, here's the question. Conspiracy theory. Is Calle Jarnkrok the reason that Craig Barube dropped the weight on his head? Remember that big scar he had that was healed so quickly? Was that Calle's fault? Was that a threat from Calle Jarnkrok? Got to ask the question. Henderson Galbraith says, even Kucherov doesn't have a 50-goal season. Seriously, 60 goals is bonkers. This is where the Matthews dialogue bothers me. First, he's not as good as he used to be. Well, he's clearly playing under a coach who's using him the wrong way. Like, it's all the numbers show that. Now, is he injured and will he ever get back to what he was? I don't know. I don't know. No one does. But to say that before the knee injury that that he was all of a sudden a bad player. No, I think he was struggling. He had garbage. He really didn't have great lineups. Let's be honest. Domi and Matthews tried to get it going. It just never was great. McMahon, Nyes was never really finding him the puck. It was an issue, right? Like Nyes is kind of a bull in a china shop. You need a setup guy. They wanted. Oh, Nyes went down there. I think he got high sticked in the face. I'm not sure if the Rangers are going to get a penalty or what. Anyway, regardless, Marner not being there is a big adjustment. And they have to keep Nylander away from Matthews because Nylander's got to drive the second line with Tavares. So they're going to need to find somebody who can feed Matthews and find him. And they need somebody like, nice goal by Nick Robertson. Wow, nice little feed from Max Domi, and Robertson goes low, and the Leafs are up 2-0. Wow, the Rangers are really not very good. And a sneaky little shot by Robertson, who every time he scores is setting a career high. He's having a career high year in points. I think ice time is relatively the same as last year, but good for him. James Bricker, are you on the wagon for the playoffs? Cannon! I believe that would make you a Columbus Blue Jackets fan. And hell yeah, I am. That was a crazy win last night. Wes Richard! It's Daddy Wes! Woo! 5 SDPN memberships. Thank you, Wes. We love you. You know that. Frederick says Matthews is clearly washed. Trade him to Montreal, 50% retained from Laine and a bag of pucks and a seventh. Well, here's the thing. Laine's deal's up. So the Leafs could just have Laine for free. I don't think they're going to do that. I am kind of wondering about Laine's career in the NHL. Does he even want to stay? I think that's a question worth asking. I don't know. I don't think he's good. I think he's played his last game for the Canadiens. I'll say that. Lisa Moe says, I don't care if we win again. Go Nicky Bobby. Listen, it's always more fun to watch your team win than lose. Dakota Perrin. Adam, don't forget about that second-round pick. Oh, you mean the second-round pick Montreal got in the Patrick Laine trade that is going to happen this year? Oh, I'll be doing a live stream for that. And the funny thing about the second round is it goes like, it's like, it literally, we were talking about the Lewis gun earlier. The second round, it's like, bang, 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 bang. So that is going to be the shortest live stream we do all season, but I'm doing it. I promised Montreal fans we would celebrate the second round pick that Montreal got in the Laine trade. Well, damn it, we're going to celebrate it. Who will it be? Is it the next Gretzky? Is it the next Richard? We don't know. Power Pat 221. I don't expect the Leafs to do a Habs post-2021 rebuild, but at very least a 2-year retool, be back in 27-28 with a very strong season. Pat, I tend to agree with you. This season was a gigantic step backwards. I think it's going to take them a couple years to get back on it. That doesn't mean they don't make the playoffs next year, because I think they can. Oh, Cooley almost had Joseph Wool down and beaten, but he's not able to get his stick on it. Goes around the net, goes back, cuts back up the ice, back to the blue line. Adam Fox, former Norris Trophy winner. Is he washed? We don't know. Download a Gavrikov. Quillen had a pass feathered to him, but it was kind of a suicide pass by Oliver Ekman-Larsson through center ice right up at the blue line. It's a good thing nobody caught Quillen looking behind him. Steve says, thank you for doing the Emu War. It helped me with my coping of how the Wings have played lately. Oh, my God. I know. It's crazy. I can't believe that story, man. I still have a hard time thinking they're actually going to miss, though. Right? Like, it feels weird. But also, the Islanders feel weird missing, too, with the season they've had. Is it Boston that misses? Because Boston's got a crazy schedule coming up, including tonight against the Buffalo Sabres, who are probably going to win that game. Well, Boston's already up 1-0. Maybe they're bringing it. Pasternak scored, so, hey, you never know. Hey. Skipper Bath, Leafs fans are thinking about this wrong. The first-round pick is already gone. Want them to get it back, of course, but it's still going to take luck. I agree with you. I think you just gotta you gotta control what you gotta control, and signing a couple NCAA college free agents, that's great. You don't want to sign too many because you only have 50 contract slots. You've got a ton of money available and basically nobody to spend it on for free agency this year. I do wonder about Dougie Hamilton from the New Jersey Devils. Would the Devils just basically give him over? I think they would. I think the problem for the Leafs is, do they want $9 million in 34-year-old Dougie Hamilton? I personally would take that risk because I think he's better than every single defenseman they have right now. But at 34, body starts to break down. Who knows? Tyson Barnett. Oh, wait. Be Deep. Thoughts on Brad staying talk? Steve will blow a fuse. I think that anybody that claims it's one way or the other right now just doesn't know. And I'm not trying to like take shots at anyone when I say that. Nobody knows because I don't think the Leafs know. And that's going to be the question of, what is it? Is it 25th? Leafs end hockey in 2.5 weeks. That will be a question for like April 18th. Tyson Barnett, 65. My thing with Matthews and his health is I don't think he understands toughness and resilience. Played through injuries in November for 3 months isn't the same as going and playing through game 2 of the playoffs. I think the way somebody put it to me, and I don't know if I believe that about Matthews, but this is in the Marner, Matthews, Nylander era and the height of it. Somebody said to me, I think they think, and this is somebody who knows stuff about hockey, somebody in the game. I think they think that they're giving 100%. But the implication in a statement like that is the teams that are truly giving 100% with the talent level that the Leafs had, the ones that really gave it all, they're the teams that won, or at least got close to it. I don't think those Leafs teams truly laid it on the line. I don't think going back, did we get the best of Nylander, or are we getting Nylander? What I liked about Nylander last night, for instance. Easton Cowan with a nice little forecheck. He gets brought down. Ref makes the call, and the Leafs are going to the power play. That's a holding call on the Rangers defense. What Nylander did last night, did you guys see that where he walked over down the bench to Carlo and Riley and talked to them about a play that they had made? Nylander's wearing the assistant captain now. And I think it's not about like toughness and playing through injury. I think it's about maturity. And Nylander's 30 now. And earlier this season, he flipped off a camera, which was really stupid, like a TV camera. I think somebody, or maybe Willie himself, realized, hey, I got to kind of grow up here. And I really liked seeing that on the bench. I know Willie's never going to be like a super emotional guy like myself or like Steve or whatever, but you can be super chill and bring a quiet confidence to a team and instill confidence in them and be a great leader. And I want to see him be that. Matthews is the same thing. I don't think he's very open in front of the cameras, but I actually think he's a very well-liked teammate. And I do think he gives it all. But I think that earlier on in their careers, those guys, you think about it, you're like 23, 24 years old, you're making like $8, $9, $10 million a year. And you think, I got all the time in the world to get this done. And then all of a sudden, you're William Nylander and you're 30. And you're on the other side of it. Matthews, 28. You get a big knee injury. I mean, that can really negatively affect your career. I think Matthews would be fine. But you see what I'm saying? I think sometimes age gives you things. And what I like about what I saw from the Leafs last night was that the young guys, Nyes, Cowan, Bogru's 26, but I still consider him new to the team. These guys are going, we're going to give you everything. We're going to fight all the time. And I think it's going to push, your Matthews and your Nylanders to also do the same thing. The Leafs need to remake their defense. I don't think Morgan Riley means bad. I think he means well. I just don't think he's a fit anymore. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, obviously having a great year, but older. Chris Tanev, even older than that. It'll be great to have him back. McCabe's in his early 30s. They are going to have to bring in some new blood this offseason. They're going to have to find what Carolina found with K'Andre Miller, right? Team that randomly doesn't want a 26-year-old defenseman anymore. Oh, okay, Willie's 29. He's going to be 30. He's going to be 30. He's turning 30 this year. My point stands, chat. Anyway, that's just my thoughts on it. I think it's going to take a couple years for them to get back to, winning divisions. But I do think it's totally possible with this group. And I think they've played so poorly this year that even Leaf fans have forgotten just how talented some of these players are. Imagine, think about how good Matthew Nyes was in his first year. Well, 80 games, 30 points. He was good. Think about how good he was in his second year, last year. Well, that got him a $7 million a year contract, right? Imagine Easton Cowan in his second year. Playing in the top 6 regularly the way he should have been all season long. And Barube is like, no, I'll play him on the 4th line next to Calle Yarncroke and Scotty Lotz. SDPN chat says, the only way I trade Nyes is if a better player is coming back. So here's what I want to ask. I'll ask Justin on the chat, and I'll ask you guys. If Matthew Nyes were traded for Simon Nemec, who is 22, third overall pick, New Jersey's got a glut of young defensemen. They've already committed to Luke Hughes long term. Simon Nemec's name was out there at the trade deadline. Do you do a Nyes plus for a Nemec plus? Skipper Bath. The amount of D-zone starts for Austin under Barube is thumbs down. Amen to that. Oh, Nemec was a second overall pick. Excuse me. Would you do that? Because I would do that. Maybe I'm crazy, but I would do that. Justin, would you do that? I know Justin's got a big, he's a big fan of Nyes. And the thing about Nyes is there's not a lot of guys like him. Like, think about, Justin actually was talking about it at the office the other day. He's like, think about, not only is Nyes that tall, but he's not like lanky, like a Brandon Carlo, Dakota Josh going right now with Lafreniere. Now, Lafreniere's a tall guy, not thick. Matthew Nyes is a thick daddy. That's a wall of man coming at you. You know what I'm saying? That's a power forward that you will not find. Those players just, they're not available that much. Are you giving up on the next Tom Wilson too early? But do you need your first John Carlson or Matt Green? Just thinking about the Capitals. I don't know. I'm comparing everything to them. Somebody said he's too young to be a daddy, Adam. You're right. That's true. At what age does somebody turn into a zaddy? I know there's like daddy, and then there's a zaddy. When do they turn into a zaddy? A Z-A-D-D-Y. When does that happen? I'm confused with you kids and your slang. Scuffle Muffin says something I actually do agree with. Matthew Nyes is future captain material. I agree. And the guy's a rock star, and he loves it in Toronto. Shotgun Draw says people do not know Nemec's game or lack thereof. Well, what do you think? Okay, people, are any Devils fans in the chat? Tell me about Nemec. Because I think what Toronto needs is mobile, puck moving, quick, and like power play quarterback kind of player. Skipper Bass says I'd trade Willie or Austin for a haul before Nyes. You're not getting a haul. They have trade protection. They hold all the cards. You'll get something, but you won't get anywhere near what you get for Nyes. Nyes is worth more on the trade market. I know that's crazy to think, but he is, because he has no trade protection. Like, tell me what we know about Simon Nemec, for instance, if his name is out there. Jimmy says, I'd rather Nylander for Nemec, but I'm kind of worried about Nemec's possession numbers. You should worry about the fact that William Nylander's not waiving his no-trade clause to go to Jersey. You got to think Matthews and Nylander, if they're going to waive a no-trade clause, it's going to be New York Rangers, Los Angeles Kings, one of the two Florida teams, maybe California. Like, it's going to be it might be 3 or 4 teams max. Dolan says, Adam, you wanted to trade Willie or Nyes for the ghost of Adam Fox a few weeks back. Listen, if Adam Fox could come back and be Norris Trophy Adam Fox, everybody wants that. But that's what I'm curious about is, can he not? Can he? Is he? That's a question, right? Kinger says, Nyes for Nemec and Jesper Bratt plus. Wishful thinking. Oh, I think so. Bratt and Nemec? Listen, I would drive Nyes to the airport. I just don't know that would happen. And again, seeing Matthew Nyes play for any other team, I think I might die. It'd be very painful. Silent Rob says Nemec and Bratt. I'm going to throw my computer at the wall. Exactly. I know. Skipper Bath, I love these contracts. Sarcasm. Don't worry about the contracts. William Nylander is a great hockey player, and so is Matthews. These are not bad contracts, and they're great players to build around. Willie's going to be good for another 4 or 5 years, like elite good. And I think Matthews will be good for another 5 or 6 at least. I think Matthews is coming back, and he's going to be dominant next year. I really feel that. I feel like you should be more hopeful. I know it all seems down right now. Those two guys get their games together, and you get somebody who can feed Matthews the puck for real, it's going to be awesome. Justin in the STPN chat says, I'm not trading Nye simply because he's going to look so great on Connor McDavid's wing. He's suggesting that Connor McDavid should be a Toronto Maple Leaf. And I agree with him. Here's what I would do. If I were the Leafs general manager, I would do everything I could to put the team in a position to be just outside of the cup conversation in 2 years when Connor McDavid becomes a free agent. That should be the organization's number one goal. Even if he resigns in Edmonton and stays, at least you were prepared. And you still probably have a pretty good team because that's all McDavid wants to do is win. What do we got here? Oh, yeah. By the way, you should probably run a clip, right? Maddie, what are we doing for a clip? What do we got? Oh, is Connor McDavid unhappy in Edmonton? Oh, I saw some people in the chat saying he'd never come to Toronto. Well, we don't know that. He did grow up a Leaf fan. We all have that Christmas tree picture with him. I might have it framed somewhere. Anyway, check it out. Connor McDavid, unhappy?
McDavid, post-game on the Lightning.
Great, obviously. Playing on a great team with a lot of great players over there. They got a great system. They're perfectly coached. They all know what they're doing. All over the ice, it's impressive. They're a great team.
Is it frustrating? Did you feel maybe you guys were frustrated tonight as far as you talk about what they were doing? Did they do anything to frustrate you or limit you?
No, I don't think so. I thought, playing against a team like Tampa, you're going to spend some time in the D zone, and we did that. I thought we were comfortable in the D zone and trying to score on counters and stuff like that against, but. I forgot your question. What was your question?
Their defending's hard.
Yeah, no, they're good. They're good, obviously. They're very good. As I said, they're extremely well coached. They're extremely well organized. They're very, very rehearsed in everything that they do. It's very impressive. Very, very impressive. And when you do break them down, they got a heck of a goalie to backstop them.
Is that just a bunch of time doing the same things over and over again? Like, how do you guys get to that, to be that rehearsed, to have that system you can rely on and all those things? Where does that come from? How do you guys get there?
Yeah, well, that's a coaching question. You can ask Nabra that question. Obviously we've been playing together a long time, and we feel like we're somewhat rehearsed and organized, but not to their level.
So you...
No, I think it sounds like it reads.
Well, you know what I got from that, Jess?
Yeah.
I got a little bit of the depression.
Yeah. That's their captain, man.
I think it's important to hear that because you understand where he's coming from post-game. Mm-hmm. And I'm not of the belief that if Connor McDavid wants to get Chris Knoblauch fired, he's going to do it in a post-game scrum with Mark Spector. That's not.
He could just walk into Stan's room.
That's not what that is for. That's not what he's going to do in that moment after a game. If he wants to get Knoblauch fired, he goes and he tells Judd Moldaver to do something about it. And then the offseason or whenever, they have conversations with the front office and they do all their maneuvering and they say they're unhappy. And then if he really wants to get Chris Knoblauch fired or tell the Edmonton Oilers that he's unhappy, he's going to leave when he has the opportunity to leave.
If they don't do something.
Right. If they don't do something about it.
Which they would.
So in this moment here, I believe that's just frustration after a tough loss to Tampa, compiled on a season of they've never had a streak of winning anything. They haven't been able to put anything together consistently for weeks at a time this year. And I think he's slowly realizing against the top teams in this league, we don't have it this year because that's what Tampa is. And they got outclassed. So he's calling everyone out there. He's calling out his own teammates, the coaching staff, the front office, everything around him because McDavid knows what he is. He's one of the best players in the world right now. Probably the greatest hockey player we have playing hockey right now.
He's him.
So he's upset at everything. I don't think it's directly at Knoblauch.
No, I agree with you, Jess. It felt to me like a challenge to Knoblauch, but a challenge to everybody else too. Like he needs Knoblauch to take the leadership role of a coach, and because it's McDavid's job to be the leader of the team. And that, to me, is leadership. I really like that. He was honest.
Well, they aren't good enough.
No.
I think we can all agree there.
And he went on to say in that same press conference that the Pacific Division's a pillow fight, which I thought was such a beautiful way of illustrating
Dude,
it.
it sucks.
And they can't
Vegas beat Dallas.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, that's good for them. I think that is him going, okay, other leader in room, coach, right? I need you to iron out some of the deficiencies in our roster. And Jesse, you make a point about, is McDavid the best player in the world right now? Yes, probably over this year, absolutely. But in the last week, it's Nikita Kucherov. He has 12 points in his past 3 games.
No, if we're talking about like the best player right now, it is Kucherov, and he has been that since the start of January. He has more points than a lot of teams like top point getters have all season long. I saw that stat too. He's going to win the Hart Trophy running away. Yeah. When I'm talking about McDavid being the best player in the world, I'm talking about like the skilled aspect of hockey.
Of course.
He's the most talented player we have. But we're talking Hart Trophy this year. It's Kucherov. It's the guy on the other end of the ice. And McDavid sees that. And how does he not be pissed off?
Well, and it's Vasilevsky. Yeah. And Vasilevsky allowed probably the worst goal of his career. And it still wasn't enough.
You see Vasilevsky in the other net, and then you turn around, and behind you is Connor Ingram. And you can't help but be a little disappointed.
Behind you is Connor Ingram, best case scenario.
Yeah. And then you look at the bench, and you're like, oh, this Tristan Jarry backing up him.
Yeah. Well, and we could always call it Pickard. Oh, no, we can't.
Yeah, well, because of the cap crunch, right?
Although the Draisaitl stuff is complicated.
McDavid, too, the one thing I will say, too, on the ice is that he backed up his performance. Not only did he score the opening goal, but he's like fighting. And it's Pontus Holmberg, of all people. But, there
got laid out, too. That was a rough game for Connor.
It's not as though he's not giving it. I think what's amazing watching this as a Leaf fan is that you're like,
what? Oh, Pontus?
Oh, you guys aren't. No, not Pontus.
Oh.
Well, that's a different story. You guys aren't good, but we're not good either. You're not. Sorry, we're worse than you. Way worse. Mm-hmm. Let me just say that.
Sure.
But we've had bad streaks, and I've watched these press conferences. The thing I see with Connor that I haven't seen from Leafs leadership, any of them, is that kind of fire. And I like that kind of fire. And you could tell me, well, John's not wired that way and Austin's not wired that way. And I'm not trying to make this about the Leafs. I need somebody who is.
Yes.
And Connor is. And that's what makes him so great. It's what makes Nathan so great. It's what makes Nikita so great. They have that extra psychotic gear. And Connor will do anything.
If
your
leader, if your captain is not wired that way, he needs to be surrounded by people who are.
Because Barkov's not crazy, but the people around him are crazy.
Exactly. He's the perfect example. No, he looks like a deity surrounded by the guys he's surrounded by. Gabriel Landeskog, a little bit. There's a little bit there. I mean, anyone looks perfectly sane next to Nate. And I mean, the Lightning are just...
They're all crazy.
Full of crazy and guys who are not afraid of you. And at the centerpiece, it's Hedman. Right? A lot of people forget he's the captain of that team now. Connor, especially with Leon, not only not in the lineup, but in Europe, has got to feel like he's on a bit of an island right now. So there's a greater than 0% chance they miss. I don't think they're gonna.
Like the playoffs entirely? No.
I don't think they're gonna. No.
It's greater than 0, sure, but like how much greater?
They haven't clinched yet, so you're factually correct.
Yeah.
Man, the Canucks became the first team to get eliminated last night. The Canucks were eliminated last night?
Yeah, it's because the NHL loves loser points.
Mm-hmm.
Holy
Dallas and
cow.
Colorado clinched this weekend on 69 weekend.
Oh, there you go. Hey,
everything's being propped up. It's ridiculous.
But Jess, one of the questions I asked last week, because the Oilers were struggling, it's like, well, this is wrong and this is wrong and this is wrong, but does it matter? And we all kind of have said this all year, where it's like, yeah, well, like it hasn't worked yet, but yeah, Bouchard's not playing the best defense, or him and Nurse aren't playing, but we've all seen them do it.
Mm-hmm.
We see them do it year after year after year. Are we not going to see that this year?
Like, I think we've reached a point where it does 100% matter. Like this year so far, the Oilers are winless when Connor McDavid doesn't record a point. There just isn't the same team that we've seen the last couple of years where they go on those runs and we're like, okay, they've struggled at times, but we're confident that everything can get together. Eventually, you are what you are. And if you're a team that can't string anything together and play consistently, then that's what you are. And I'm not taking them in a matchup against any of the Central Division teams.
Certainly not.
It's so wonky, this stupid Pacific Division, and how bad it is this year, that they might have a free pass to the second round. because I'll take them against, if they're in that 2-3 matchup, I'll take them against that 2-3.
Well, right now it's Vegas.
It's Vegas.
Like that's a
So,
fascinating matchup.
I want them against Vegas every day of the week.
So you guys take them versus Vegas, just to be clear.
Yeah, Vegas doesn't have goaltending. They can't score. Like last night,
Yeah.
okay, it was good. They got that victory against Dallas, but that doesn't spark confidence in me at all. I haven't seen Vegas do it, so I'll take Edmonton in that matchup. But if Edmonton like fell to the wild card spot, and then they have to play a Pacific Central Division team if they're in the like second wild card or whatever it is, I don't want them in the first round. And if they reach the second round, then they're playing the Central. Depending on how that all shakes out, I don't want them there. But
I want nothing to do with Utah.
winning a couple free rounds, if they stick in that Pacific Division thing, yeah, they might just find themselves all willy-nilly into the conference finals. And then we look at the season a little differently, but we should also judge it with the context of they got to go through this really bad division.
That is one of the fun things. Like I've done a lot of historical stuff. And if you go a certain distance, you're just like, well, that was a good season.
You
have to dig. You have to dig sometimes. And, like, the Oilers fired their coach after making it to the conference final, which is definitely something that could happen right here. We would look at them and be like, that's crazy. Why would they do that a few years from now? But all of us living in the moment right now, we're like, I understand it at very least. They are desperate to win now. And do you realize anything other than winning the Stanley Cup is a step backward for them?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. That's
quite
pressure.
the bar.
And
when people talk about pressure in this league, that's pressure.
And I don't have them in that Stanley Cup conversation right now. If you're doing the circle of teams that are like the true, I have the 5 teams that are going to win the Cup this year. I have the Oilers on the outside.
Do you have the
edge
Lightning
of
in
that.
it?
Yes.
Now, let me give you this quote, because this is a great one.
Sure.
It's from Brandon Hagel this morning, and I think it adds to the conversation.
Oh, please. This depresses me so much.
I wouldn't say we're the biggest team, but I know every guy in this room will leave with a black eye. When you've got a bunch of those guys on your team, everybody's got your back. It's fun to see, and I think we've been doing it all year. And he has been, and they have been. And they've been doing it for years. Like last year, they did get run over by the Panthers. But they still never didn't fight. They never gave up. There was concussions, there were suspensions, there was this, there was that. But and there was injuries as well. We know that Vasilevsky had crazy surgery. We know Hedman's been hurt.
Someone's going to win, someone's going to lose, but you have a say in how it all goes down.
I don't hear the Oilers talking like that. Certainly not the Leafs. Even in the best case scenario, which was last year for the Leafs, nobody talked like that.
No, that's how winners talk. That's how winners talk. That's a winner's attitude. And if you don't have that attitude, you're not as interested in winning as you thought. That's how it is.
And that series against Dallas last year in the conference finals, we forget, like, they were really good. That didn't go the distance. They took care of business. And I know the Kings series doesn't really count because that's like a free square on your bingo card. It's like we get through the first round there.
Yeah.
Not the way it went down.
It was 4-1.
Yeah, it was.
Because they have the worst coach in the world.
Yeah.
And he should be unemployed forever.
And he'll be working for the Leafs by September.
Again?
Hiller? Was he a Leaf guy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, great.
Is that where he came to the Leaf system?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I think he was under Babs.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I
Maybe better
forgot
as an
that.
assistant coach. Anyway, sorry, I didn't
Anyways,
derail.
no, but like Edmonton was impressive through those playoffs. The second round against Vegas. I think I had Vegas winning that series, and Edmonton was able to pull it out. Like it was a good run to that finals where they eventually got steamrolled, but it wasn't like they weren't impressive.
Oh, they were.
Yeah.
And the thing too, and I know Leon, the quote from Leon at the soccer match where he was like, I hope they hang in long enough so I can be back, whatever. He'll be back at the end for the game 1 of the playoffs or game 2 or whatever. And playoff Leon, as we've seen before, can be on one foot and still lead the league in goals scored in the playoffs, even if he's eliminated in the second round, which happened like 3 years ago. Which is insane when you think about it. And they didn't tie him until the last game of the Stanley Cup Finals.
I just want to like turn a chair around and sit down and look at the Oilers. And so your top goal scorer is in Germany mid-season.
Late season.
Here's how you handle it.
Late season.
It is late season.
Hello, we're back, and we're excited, and we're happy, and we're pumped. Isn't it exciting? It's Maddie. You're damn right. It's whimsical. I'm whimsied. I'm all whimsied out. Maddie said the art of whimsy has been lost over the last few years. We need to bring it back. I know it's been so damn serious. Look at those Blue Jays. Look at those damn Blue Jays looking all sexy and cool. Damn. I'm just so excited for the Jays to be back. It's gonna be a good old fashioned time. It's gonna be a good old time. And the second period of this weird game has kicked off. It's still very low energy. I'm not gonna lie. This game, I can't believe the Leafs are even up 2-0. To be honest with you, they're playing too good to tank, and I think that's because they are too good to tank. Skipper says, Adam, how was your intermission? You know what? It wasn't bad. It was not bad at all. Kind of hung out, did my thing. I watched a little TikTok and did a little research, checked in on the Sabres and Bruins game, which is tied 1-1. I think the Sabres should win that game. Zucker tied it up on a power play goal. It's not even done, that game. Oh, sorry, it's not even done. Not even done the first intermission, that game. They're going to be rejoining the real world in the next 2 minutes here. Emo Jalapeno says, yay, is Jesse only streaming the first game or all season long? He's not going to be able to do 160. I think he's going to do a few games, like maybe a game a week. I don't know. SDPN says, Adam, what's your favorite TikTok account? Mine is Adam Wylde and Jax. I would recommend it. I would also follow SDPN Sports, or is it just SDPN on TikTok? Anyway, it is SDPN Sports on TikTok. Yeah, I would follow that one because it's great. And it's curated by Justin Fisher, a man who knows. And I think my favorite TikTok account outside of that, probably Maddie. Because all she does is go on trips and look cool. So Maddie's vacation TikToks are the stuff of legend. And I wish I had them. Do you work hard on those, Maddie? That's great. You should. Damn, you can tell. You can tell. It's just good. Now, people are saying that my mic and the thing is lagging. Hi, I don't know what I can do about that. It's just what it is. Try refreshing the browser, see if that works. And the reason for that is we're having construction done next door, and it looks as though, well, we're not having it done. It's just being done. I think they've kind of knocked the internet lines a little bit. The internet's been a bit funny. By the way, Dakota Joshua fell on Ty Carty. Carty Party. Started cross-checking him. Carty cross-checked him back. It's a lot of cross-checking. There's a lot of going on here, you know? Jack Maloney just made the stream. How's life in Toronto? Greetings from out west. Also appreciate the content. Love the podcast. I need something to distract me from my horrid Canucks. Well, how about watching a horrid Leafs team take on an even more horrid New York Rangers team? It's just horrific. All fabulous. We're excited. I don't know what we're going to do. Okay, a lot of people said refreshing it worked for them. Try that. Try refreshing. It probably should fix it. Lafreniere. Download now. The Rangers are on a power play here. I think it's Joshua who's in the box. And we'll see what the Rangers can do. Joseph Woll's been playing too damn good for the Leafs to tank. So the other question I think people have for next season is, what do the Leafs do about the goaltending? And there's some people who are like, oh, you should trade Stollers for great players. No one's taking Stoller's contract right now. Because he's always injured. It's not because he's not good. It's because he's injured. Joseph Woll is always injured, but he's on a really respectable deal. You might as well keep him. Here's what my thought is. Some really good teams just run 3 goalies. The Carolina Hurricanes are one of them. Why not have Hildeby, who can no longer pass through waivers, Woll, and Stollers? Because Woll and Stollers never are healthy. And if it gets to the point where it seems like you got 2 runaway favorites, well, then trade the third one. I think it kind of makes sense, right? I think you keep 3. I don't understand why people are so in such a hurry to trade one of these goalies, especially when their value isn't all that high right now. Goalie trades are always strange. Like Detroit got John Gibson for nothing. Oh, wow. One timer just went by the man in front who was trying to tip it in. Ashkova 75 says, bit off topic, but with recent performances and Dobish's performance yesterday, 43 saves, is it safe to say, sorry, not 43 saves, he had 41 saves. Is it safe to say he's earned the starter spot? In Montreal? Absolutely. Yeah, no, Montembeau's done in Montreal. He's going to get traded this offseason. I guarantee it. SLS, is Jesse going to rest to the rest of the Leaf games? I believe he is. That's the plan. You got to be there right to the end. And I'm sure that he's probably looking at it like, wow, I only have like 4 or 5 of these left to go. It's kind of weird. Jack Maloney says, I heard you Leaf fans are tanking too. Yes, we are, but we're not very good. We're trying. Doesn't seem to be working. For some reason, this team has decided to play for one another for once. Jordan says, I need that bum Adam Fox to get a power play point. He's got a Calgary Flames logo in his YouTube page, so I would assume that he's one of the guys still pissed about the fact that Adam Fox refused to play in Calgary. And you know what? I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I think Brad was the one that had to trade him to New York, wasn't he? Brad Trelivic? I don't think anybody knew Adam Fox was going to be that good. Because, man, he was good. He was great. $15:49 left in the period. By the way, the Leafs did kill that penalty. The Rangers got next to nothing going. This is why we kind of sit around and have chats. Like, when we get into the playoffs, I'm going to do a lot more play calling. But, you know, I look at these games and I'm like, nah, do I need to do play calling or should we just hang out and chat like we're in my basement? If I had a gigantic basement that could fit 1,000 people, isn't that what we would do? That's what I feel like we should do. Oh, they traded him. So Calgary traded him to Carolina, and then Carolina traded Fox to New York. I got it. Skipper, Gardner revived the Leafs when we needed it. That's right. Jake Gardner was in attendance last night. Hilarious. Gavrikov gets the shot in. The Rangers are actually like skating this period, which I'm sure for the Leafs is extremely inconvenient. Shots are 19-10. It's not like they're not out shooting the Leafs, although this is sort of the Leafs bag where they just get completely outshot to death and go, but we have great goaltending, so it doesn't matter. Jordan's 175 said Treliving traded Fox to Carolina for Hannafin and Lindholm. Then he refused to play there too. You know what? That's not a bad trade. Nobody talks about that trade, but Lindholm was really good in Calgary, and so was Hannafin. All right. Listen, I know Brad's not the most popular guy in Toronto right now, but I think he could take some credit for that. Lindholm had the 40-40-40 year, 40 goals, along with Gaudreau, who had 40 goals, along with Tkachuk, who had 40 goals. That was a hell of a line. It's a great season. Now, trading was it Hannafin? Monahan. Oh, we got a goal, and it's Dakota Joshua. He got the penalty earlier for cross-checking Ty Carty, and then he scores. Man, Shesterkin is not having a good night. And the Blue Jays love it. Stinkface McPoop Lightning, who is the best name on YouTube as far as I'm concerned. The crazy thing is these are the 2 richest teams. Yep. If there was no cap, these would be the 2 best teams in the league. Tyson Barnett, a little history corner based on my homeland. Shakespeare's The Tempest is based on the settling of Bermuda and played a key strategic role in the War of 1812. Little known fact. Funny thing about the War of 1812 was really during the Napoleonic Wars, so it was like a larger conflict. And the more important territory back then was the Caribbean. Nobody really cared too much about North America, especially Canada. It was just cold. Oh, Tavares almost had, what a beautiful pass in. by Cowan, I think it was, and Tavares just could not bury it. Leafs are not really getting a lot of opportunities, but when they do, they're converting. The Leafs are out here like trying to play well, and I don't know how to feel. Because when they were trying to push for the playoffs, they were not playing well and weren't trying to. So what this is telling me is actually the Leafs could be a good team next year if they gave a shit. That's clear. They gave up on Barube, man. They did. World Sports Talk says, why is my Sportsnet stream like 2 minutes behind? So I'm watching on cable, and the reason your Sportsnet stream is 2 minutes behind is because they want you to get cable. That's why. David Owen says, I'm watching with my nephew Peter. Can he get a shout? Absolutely. What's up, Peter? What's going on, dude? Is it Peter Owens? Because that's a strong name. PDO. I'd call him PDO. You know, like PDO, but PT. Anyway, shout out. Shout out to you, nephew Peter. What it do, nephew? Jay Snow, the Rangers are obviously tanking. Well, they are obviously tanking. The Leafs are obviously not tanking. Is this good? I don't know how to feel about any of this. Oh. Robertson almost set Domi up there too beautifully. Domi set up Robertson earlier in the game for a nice goal. Rangers are outshooting the Leafs double. Leafs are outscoring the Rangers 3-0. Weird. Alex not automatically eliminated from the playoffs and start playing well. That's about that a little bit because the Canucks were really good at that for a few years too, where it's like, oh man, they're eliminated for the playoffs, but whoa, they give us hope because look, they're good in garbage time when there's no pressure. Bit of a mirage in the Canucks case, although they have case. I think that there is something to build around here in Toronto. I think you need the right coach, but they're a long way away from being like a contender. You know what I mean? Sorry, I'm yawning. It's been a long day. By the way, can I throw this at you? So after the game tonight, I'm sticking around here and recording Nailing the Apex with Tim Haraney because it's the Japanese Grand Prix this weekend, and I want you guys all to check out that show. And I also want you to watch the Japanese Grand Prix so you can hang out with Tim and I. Wash Chaos. Canucks would get eliminated, and then Demko would have a .980 save percentage for March and April. Exactly. And Jordan saying Flames do that every year. This is the thing. Be very, very weary of the team record. What you're looking for are individual performances. You're looking for Nylander. You're looking for Tavares. You're looking, because remember, a lot of teams are not taking the Leafs that seriously. So they're like, whatever. Now, the Leafs were horror awful for a long time. And I don't think they were that bad, really. I think they just didn't give a shit anymore. Now I do feel like, hey, they actually do kind of care and they want to end the season on a bit of a good note. But there's work to be done. I think we all know that. Alan B says, your stream is at least 30 seconds behind what I'm watching in the Philippines. Really? Now that's crazy. Sakura with a shot on the backhand. Wall is not able to get his stick on it, and now he's got it. Trocheck gets something to the face, and he's complaining about it. I wonder if that's going to draw penalties. 25 are the shots for the Rangers. 11 for the Leafs. And Simon Benoit is going to the box. And Mike Schmidt asks, what are your favorite special liveries for the Japanese Grand Prix? You know what? I'm going to echo what Justin says in the chat. I have not seen a bad one. And usually you could pick one out and go, yeah, that stinks. For anybody that doesn't know what I'm talking about, in Formula One, at certain races, they will paint the cars something different to kind of thematically match the country that they're in. And in Japan, it's like obviously such a colorful, vibrant place when you think about manga and you think about the culture and so many different cool things you can do. The cars usually reflect that. And I love every single one of them this year. It does make it confusing on the track, though. You're like, wait, what team is that again? A lot of them just turn white. Skipper Bath with a very funny super chat. I'm impressed with the SDP hairlines, all things considered. Yeah, we're all intact. None of us have had to make the trip to Turkey, which is nice. Canada Matt says the Haas livery for Japan GP looks good. Aston Martin going with a coyote holding a yikes sign. That's what it should be. I agree. I totally agree. It's great. Blink778 says, I've never played sports, but I imagine it's like failing your favorite class because you hate the teacher. You know what I would compare the Leafs' performance to after the Olympic break? It's when you're at a job that objectively you like and you're good at, but you have a horrible boss, which I've had. And it doesn't matter how hard you work or how hard you push through. There's going to be a time limit with that horrible boss. Maybe they're not even horrible. Maybe they're just not for you. If you got a boss that you just don't click with, at a certain point, you're going to go, okay, I think I've had enough. You're driving me crazy. I'm going to have to do something else. Doesn't make them a bad person. Doesn't make you a bad person. And I think that's the case with the Leafs. I don't think Craig's a bad person. I don't think the Leafs are a bad team. They've played bad. But I think after a while, you're like, you know what? I kind of had it. Kind of had it with you. Jello, it's me, says, Adam, what are your thoughts on Jay Woodcroft as a coach? Because it's written in the stars that if DeBoer doesn't see the Kings as a contender, which why would he, then we're getting Jay Woodcroft. Well, I think Jay deserves a second shot. But I think Jay, there you go. Goal for the New York Rangers, and it's Alexis Lafreniere. I'll come back to your question, by the way, Jello. And that's a power play goal. Rangers finally on the board. 26-11 are the shots for the Rangers, and they finally get one. So Jay Woodcroft as a coach is interesting. I think in Edmonton, he had a lot of success early. And I think I'm guessing here, but I think there was a bit of an ego there. And the reason I think that is I thought it was interesting how he tried to completely remake their defense. Remember that? 2023-24, and they started awful, terrible. And so they start awful, they're terrible. And he gets fired 20 games in. And he sits out there the rest of the year, nobody hires him. And then the entire next year, nobody hires him as a head coach. And then he becomes an assistant coach. Nothing wrong with that. But I think Jay has probably been humbled a little bit. But I still think he could be a very good coach. We're going to see what he can do with that LA team. I think the Kings team is bizarre, but it would make sense that Ken Holland, who hired him in Edmonton, would give him a shot in LA. By the way, did anybody see the Ernie Clement thumbs down on the Rangers goal? I love that. I love Ernie Clement. We need more Ernie Clements. You need guys who are like just glue guys. I need that for the Leafs too. Lovable glue guy. I think Scotty Lawton was going to be that guy. I'm bummed that he's not here anymore. Nikesh says, man, what happened to Lafreniere? I don't know. He had that one breakout year, and then he got the big contract. And then the next 2 years since, he's not been great. Not been great. Yeah. 47 points this year, 45 last. He's coming up on, where he was a couple of years ago, but maybe that's just what he is. He's sort of a guy that scores 55, 60 points in a full season, gets you 20 goals, and that's about it. Skipper says talent is an issue, but the deployment is awful right now. You mean for the Leafs? Probably, yeah. Adam, Sarah A. Morrison and I would watch an F1 live stream. Well, listen, I appreciate that. But I have a kid, and all F1 races happen on the weekend, and a wife, and I would like to spend some time with them. It's easy to do hockey because it's always at night. But when you're talking about Formula One, it could be 4 a.m. It could be middle of the day. Sometimes they're at night, but it's all over the place. So usually I'm kind of not doing that because of that. Because I got to have a life at some point. Natalie Drake, I am so excited for the Jays season. Summer sports! Woo! Colt 289, is Bruce Boudreau that bad that he can't coach anywhere? No, I don't think he is. But I think Bruce is old. And I think Bruce is having fun doing media. He's made his money. I think people are probably on the hunt for, why wouldn't you want to be on the hunt for some new ideas and some new peeps? You know what I mean? I think that's what it is mostly. Bruce, there it is. Forever and ever, amen. But, I think that's what it is. Goofy Goober, would you get a Kirk or an Ernie jersey? That's tough. I think I'd get Clement. But I love Alejandro Kirk. If I could say both, I would get both. Mike Schmidt, I love morning races. The kiddos and I sit down and watch together, and my son thinks it's Mario Kart. I know my kid still goes to bed before the hockey games start, so she's watched more Formula One with me than she's watched hockey. Strange Radio says, wow, Adam, picking his wife and his child over us? Okay, fine, we get it. I'm sorry. It's tough call, but I had to make it. All right. We got about 8 minutes left in this period. It's been a bit of a weird one. Rangers have dominated play, outshot the Leafs to hell, only have 1 goal. Brian says, why aren't the Leafs tanking correctly? I think it's because their goaltending has all of a sudden become pretty good, which it was last year. Nyes dumps the puck in. 8:23 left in the second period. The Leafs have had some good opportunities that they've taken advantage of, but listen, don't let the score fool you. Rangers have been all over them, especially in this second period. All over them. And both teams kind of started flat. Natalie Drake makes a good point. She's like, it's almost as if they're actually good goalies. They are good goalies. If Wool and Stollers had started normally this year, remember Wool missed the first 6 weeks, Stollers got injured. I think this is a different season. I think this goes very differently. But it didn't. So be ready to start the next season. Dakota Joshua behind the net. For Riley. For Grew. $7:11 left in the second. Natalie Drake says, which 2 goalies would you try to keep in charge? If you were in charge, which would you try to trade? I did talk about it a little bit earlier. I think I would keep all 3. None of them are worth all that much on the trade market, so keep them. And Joseph Woll and Anthony Stollers have proven time and time again that both of them aren't really capable of playing more than 30, 35 games anyway. So why are we rushing it? I just feel you can carry 3 goalies, see what happens, right? Alip 11 dropped a super chat for $2.79. It didn't say anything. Well, Alip, if you did have something to say, feel free to just post in the chat and I'll answer your question if you want. 3-1 are the goals. 26-11 are the shots. The team with 26 shots has a goal. That's how weird this game is. But you know what? When you get 2 teams that are kind of stinky and last, this is the kind of stuff that happens. Now, if the Leafs win tonight, they're going to leapfrog a couple of teams. This is kind of funny. Looking at the standings, the Leafs would jump ahead of the Florida Panthers and New Jersey Devils with a win tonight. Isn't that funny? So they would go from 9th to 7th in the conference. Sorry, not 9th to 7th in the conference. 9th to 7th in the wild card race. Let's get a conference. It would be 15th to 13th. Yeah. So let's have a look at, by the way, the other scoreboard. The Bruins and Sabres are playing. It's 1-1 still in that game. That's a major game for the Bruins, especially considering they lost to the Maple Leafs last night. They've got Dallas coming up as well. If you look at the Bruins' next 4 or 5 games, it's a nasty, nasty schedule. Easton Cowan tried to feather a pass to Nylander. It's just a little short. Nylander was just a stride behind having a breakaway there. I see what Cowan was doing, but he kind of forced the play instead of just dumping it low. And then he blocks a shot, and he's slamming his stick on the ice, so you know that hurt. McCabe gets hit behind the net. Skipper says it's going to be neat to see some new teams in the playoffs. I agree, it always is. And here comes Cowan again, this time with McCabe, and he puts it off the post. Goalie beat, could not beat the post. Calle Yarncroke cuts back to the point. Simon Benoit. Yarncroke shot. And that's right at the chest of Igor Shesterkin and saved. Cowan's been very good the last 5 games. I know, listen, we're looking for individual performances. Do we care if the team wins or not? No, not really. Do we care that the guy that they drafted in the first round a couple years ago is looking good? We care a lot about that. Cowan's looking good. Colt 289 says 3-on-3 right now in the Bruins game. LOL, wild penalties. Oh, good for them. Oh, and the Bruins have scored. Victor Arvidsson has put the Bruins up 2-1. Now, the Sabres have only lost I think they've lost 1 game since the Olympic break and 3 games in regulation since January 1st. It's a crazy run they've been on. I have a hard time believing they're just going to lose to the Bruins tonight, but the Bruins have got to bring it. So we'll see. They're fighting for their playoff lives right now. Ian Ball says Yarncroke is playing, and then heart eyes. Mixed Heart Productions, WTF. Jonathan Quick led in 37 goals in his last 10 games. What? Is that true? It's a lot of goals. That's roughly almost 4 a game. That's crazy. The Zamboni driver, Stoli to the Oilers, could have actually changed their season and playoff hopes. I don't think that was ever on the table. I don't think anybody called anybody about that. Probably could have helped the Oilers, but instead they wanted Tristan Jarry because they're silly people. It's almost like they didn't watch any Penguins games last year. I can't believe they did that. AT says, what does winning mean for the Leafs? Is it a mindset thing for next year? I hope so, but I don't. I think that there is more talent on this Toronto Maple Leafs team than they've shown this year. I think they've got better goalies than what they've seen. I think Nylander, Matthews, Tavares, and Nyes have all played through injuries all year long. I think personally that that they're probably better than what they've shown. What does the winning now mean? It means they're in garbage time. I wouldn't put too much into the points the Leafs get. You got to look at individual performances at this point. The team winning or losing, it's really not that about that. Imagine you're watching preseason and you're going, man, I hope they win this game. What you're looking for in preseason is you're looking for individual performances. And by the way, the team is not good tonight. I'm watching this, you're watching this, right? Shots are 27-12 for a reason. The Leafs are not good tonight. Joseph Woll is very good. Ernie Clement's on the screen, by the way, talking with Chris Cuthbert and Craig Simpson. .435 left in the second period. Leafs kind of looking dead on their feet right now. The Rangers came out flying in the second period. They're bringing it. Greg Knight says reclamation projects and cast-offs from other teams are not the solution to build a proper farm system, and you can develop players that fit your style of play. I think what the Leafs have to do is they're going to have to make some bets on some guys. One guy you got to look at seriously. Oh, stolen by Jake Quillen. Sorry, Robertson. Robertson made the steal and took a shot, but Shesterkin, even though he was surprised, was able to make that save. He's looking sharp. Anyway, I think that there is a world. Oh, big save there by Mr. Joe Woll. I think there's a world where the Leafs are much better next year compared to what they've been this year, and maybe they're a wild card team. I can see that. Good system, new blood on defense. You're going to get Matthews a winger, but it's going to take a couple years to get back to where they were, at least, if it's even possible. We don't even know. And you never know what could shake loose. Like Quinn Hughes became suddenly available this season. That can happen. You got to be able to take advantage of that. And we'll know a lot more about what the Leafs are going to be able to do on that front when we find out if they get their pick this year or not. Because if they don't, that means they've got a 2028 pick. And people forget this, but they have Colorado's first rounder from 2027. So they have a first pick. If they don't pick first round this year, they have a first pick the next 2 years. So that's good. It's a good start. TJ O'Shan says, I am not watching this. I am not watching this. Yeah, I don't blame you. Now, the Leafs have just taken a penalty here. So the Rangers are going to kind of play with them, go to 6-on-5. And there it is. Colt 289, what is the Tanev plan? Well, apparently he tore a muscle in his abdomen and needed surgery and is going to, don't be getting into it with Will Cooley. He needed to have surgery, and he'll be back for next season. But remember, he's going to be like 37. He's going to be very good, but I don't know that he's going to be like elite. They're going to have some work to do on defense. They are. Total Malarkey, did you ever see that Kylie Kelsey, Meredith Gaudreau interview? Very good, very sad. I know Steve said he couldn't even manage to watch it, which is understandable. Yeah, that's an interview I don't think I could watch either. And it's not because you don't respect Meredith Gaudreau enormously, which I do. I just think that is so it's just heavy. It's heavy. So I don't think I could. I don't think I could watch that. I'm not a guy that loves to do, like, even sad TV shows and sad movies really bum me out. So I don't watch them. So that, for me, I think that'd be too much. Viper says it was like a hip abductor or something for Tanev. Well, I don't think it was a hernia. I know people are suggesting that. There was some, I don't think it was a hernia. I think it was something more serious than that. Toronto actually has one of the best hernia hospitals in the world. And they're not easy to recover from. They are very painful. But we're very, very blessed here to have like a hernia center, strangely enough. It's just, I don't think it was that. Colt 289, would you be open to getting Dougie Hamilton? Yes, absolutely, especially if the acquisition cost is low. Why not? If New Jersey's willing to like offload that contract, I don't know why you wouldn't try. You got $25 million to spend this offseason. And maybe you can get them to take a contract back. So maybe you're not taking the full $9 million, but you're giving them, I don't know, just for argument's sake, Nick Robertson. Actually, he's an RFA. For argument's sake, Dakota Joshua's deal. Oh, there it is. Zibanejad with a goal. That's 2 power play goals on 2 consecutive penalties by the Leafs. And the Rangers are back in the game that they were already in. 30 shots to 13. The Leafs are officially tanking again. Henderson Galbraith. I knew it was going to be this. If I knew it was going to be this kind of party, I would have blah, 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 mashed potatoes. That's a Beastie Boys song. I would have stuck my, I know that lyric. All right. I'm old enough. That's Beastie Boys. Silent Rob says, fine, I'll do Hamilton plus for Austin Matthews. Fine. What about a Morgan Riley for Dougie Hamilton swap? Reunite Sheldon Keefe and Morgan Riley. How do we feel about that? What do you think, Devils fans? Are you in? Yanni Havisto, Adam, do you listen to Real Kipper and Bourne? Because they think we have at least 2 bad seasons ahead of us while they retool. I see their clips, and I love Nick, and Justin's a really great guy. He came on the podcast years ago. Nick's been on the podcast. Great people, but I don't listen to their show all the time. It's not anything personal. There's only so much content one can consume in a day. But yeah, I mean, I think they're not wrong. I think the one thing I do think is with the Leafs goaltending, it is a real X factor. If you can paper over a lot of bad shit with good goaltending, and I could see a world where they're in the playoffs next year. Call me crazy, but I do. All right. Now, are the Rangers going to tie this game up? Are the Leafs going to go this far and then lose? Madison says, you keep Morgan Riley. We do not want him. You know what makes a lot of sense for me for Morgan Riley is Vancouver. Because you're going to need some veterans there. And Philip Hronek is a great defenseman, noted Alan Walsh client. But you're going to need some more veteran presence there. I think Morgan Riley could be kind of a cool piece for them. And it would be kind of fun with him on a young team again. I think he would enjoy that. I do think his time in Toronto is probably done. Would you do Pettersson for Mo? I don't think so. I don't know. Like, does Pettersson... The thing I have about Pettersson is it feels like the talent's all there and he's not hurt. So what is it? Does he just not like being there anymore? Is he burnt out? Like, what is it? I would need to know why he's struggling so much. And I'm sure the Vancouver Canucks would love to know. Maybe they could solve the problem. Yeah, I'd like to know. Also, I don't know that a heavy media market's right for Elias Pettersson. Cooley with a shot. Or sorry, that's Cardi, not Cooley. 15 seconds to go in the second period. And ladies and gentlemen, the Rangers are out shooting the Leafs almost triple. 31-14 are the shots. Well, maybe not almost triple. At least double. But somehow the Leafs have a 3-2 lead, and they're playing poorly. Really poorly. Bad. They're playing bad. And the Rangers are kind of playing good. So we're in a bit of an awkward spot. We are. It's kind of crazy. Zamboni driver says nobody wants Pettersson. I'm curious about Pettersson. Like, I think the thing about Pettersson is you got to look at him and go, but he could be 100-point guy again, can't he? Right? Like, it didn't just disappear. Just some guy says, honestly, the Leafs should explore sending Stolarz to the Oilers in the offseason. Maybe get Howard and a pick in return. Knowing the Oilers, they'll probably end up trading for a shaky goalie like Montembeault instead. Listen, I'm just going to keep repeating this until people hear me. Anthony Stolarz, with a new 4-year contract starting next season, is not worth anything on the trade market. The most you could hope to do is offload the contract. I don't know why you'd do it. I still think he's a good goalie. He's just got to stay healthy. Anthony Stolarz is probably better in a Leaf uniform at least next year. If he finds his game next year and he kicks ass and they fall out of it, okay, trade him. But Anthony Stolarz, and multiple people have talked about it, and I need you to hear me. Nobody wants the Anthony Stolarz contract. Nobody. And that's not because Anthony's not a good goalie. It's because he's injured all the time. They love the talent. They hate the injuries. And he's on the wrong side of 30. Tough one. James, Riley for Bouillon and Rossi. Hell yeah, let's go. Get it started. I don't think here's the thing with the goaltender situation, guys. And people are like, well, they can only carry 2. No, they can carry 3. Carolina regularly carried 3 goalies the last few years. You can do it. I think that's what they need to do. Don't lose a goalie for nothing because Hildeby's going to get claimed. I bet if you put Stolarz on waivers, he doesn't get claimed. But why would you do that? I'm just saying, carry 3 goalies, play 3 goalies. Who cares? And then if it doesn't work, figure it out at that point. But don't make the decision now. You don't need – that's a decision that's not a right now thing. You don't need to have a solve there. There's no fire. It's just, here's 3 goalies. The best one gets the net. Simple. I think you carry 3. I think you carry 3. Oh, we gotta go to a clip. All right, Maddie, fine. I'll throw to a clip. Here's a good one. This is great, considering how shitty the Leafs were in that period. Has Craig Berube lost control of the Toronto Maple Leafs? I don't know. Maybe you should watch this clip. Check it out.
I don't even know if I'd call it disasters. These are just dumbass mistakes that the Leafs have made all year. The William Nylander is one of them. He's got the two. He's got the middle finger from the box. He's got the solars in the head or in the neck. Craig Berube. So they go to overtime, and immediately Berube is like, okay, I'm going McCabe, I'm going Willie, and I'm going John Tavares. And this is a head coach, and all coaches do this, where they're too close to the picture to see the entire painting. Sheldon Keefe used to throw at David Kampf to win a faceoff draw and then be like, all right, Austin, your turn.
All Craig Berube has done is what the last guy did, basically.
Yes. So Tavares loses the draw. And the Carolina Hurricanes, don't know if you know this, very good at hockey, very good at skating and puck movement. So Tavares is now stuck out there with like Aho and whoever else. And they're all fast and they're all great puck movers. And John respectfully gets exposed in 3-on-3 hockey. His movement's not there.
What is the face-off gap between Tavares and another option you could have put out?
Well, I if you had Lawton, Waugh, and Matthews, probably not much. I don't know what Gru's numbers are. But you don't have a lot of centers.
So this is why I didn't get mad at that decision, because I was like, there's no one else.
And that's
like,
fine.
There's no one else.
But then they're all slightly out of position, and it's relatively quick. The Carolina Hurricanes put the Leafs out of their misery. They score.
Why can't William Nylander take the opening faceoff in overtime?
Why not?
He takes faceoffs all the time.
The dumbass thing, though.
Yeah.
There's 41 seconds, by the way.
41 seconds. There
and
you go.
Shot attempts were 77 to 44, I believe, in the game.
Less bad than I thought, but still not great.
Still terrible.
I don't know. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, but I made it seem like it was much bigger.
That's pretty
not
big.
much smaller. Yeah, you're right.
I think you were along the right lines.
So plus or minus 10%. I then read the quote afterwards, and Jesse, tell me you didn't fall to the floor laughing when Craig Berube said we could have used a save there, when the shot attempts were 77-44, and the only reason that they're in overtime is Joseph mother effing Woll.
Yep, I hated it. It was such a nonsensical comment from a head coach throwing his goaltender under the bus there, when, as you said, Joseph Woll's the only reason they got a point in that game. And then to have that follow up with him having to start on back-to-back nights.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
That's perfect, right?
Rub your face in it, Craig. Like, what are you doing?
And then the team's so much worse the next night.
Yeah.
Like,
and there was comments I want to get to that
in a
too.
vacuum.
It's on him. The way this
100%.
team plays and the amount they're outshot every single game for 2 years now. Last year, they were able to overcome it because they had a spectacular goaltending out of that guy. And now you're not getting it this year and you're upset. You're a bad coach right now.
Yeah. Like, even in a vacuum, if you look at some of the goals that were allowed that night, you're like, yeah, I would usually expect Woll to make that save. But he's still your most valuable player, and you stink. Yeah. Like, I don't want to hear anything else out of Craig Berube, dude. I'm not interested. He's not the Leafs coach.
Well, no, and so that goes to, and I want to just, before you go on that tangent, because I want you to go there.
Okay, sure.
Give me a sec. Next night, they've called up Michael Pezzetta against the Ottawa Senators, and Brady Tkachuk has made comments on his podcast, which we mentioned on Friday, about the Leafs not jumping in to save Matthews. You call up Pezzetta so that Pezzetta can send a message and maybe restore a little bit of anything in this team in terms of honor, right? Whether or not you think that's valuable, that's what Brad Treliving did. Craig goes, no, we need Calle Yarncroke in the lineup. He's playing his last 5 or 6 games in the NHL, and he needs to be in tonight. And this is on the heels of them losing and getting their asses kicked at home the first Saturday after the Olympic break, like 2-3 weeks ago, against this same Senators team.
In Toronto.
And
you got a chance to go into their building and give it back.
So we scratch Pezzetta.
Yeah.
We scratch Pezzetta. That's great. After the game, Easton Cowan had a great game, goal and an assist.
Sure.
He said after they got that power play goal, I felt like we kind of got dejected. And Craig Berube says, no, that's an excuse. I don't buy that. Craig, listen, I know Craig is coaching for his next job in the NHL, which is why Pizzetta was not in the lineup. You think
Why? That's
that
a
the
stupid
players
decision.
have quit on him? That's him quitting on the team.
Yeah.
He's absolutely
Put Pizzetta in the lineup over Yarncroke, you're out of your mind.
Yeah.
Here's
Out of
Cowan
your
saying they were a little deflated.
Yeah, I thought we started off pretty strong. Got on the kill, they scored, and then I feel like it deflated us a bit. Yeah.
How tough is that? It just
And then I'll
You'll
pull
bring
up
up
the
Craig.
response from Craig Berube.
When he says this, like, I really want you to listen to him say it, because this guy's coaching like, hey, this is a job interview for my next job.
Well, he wouldn't get it then.
And I don't blame him for that. He will get another job. He'll be hired this summer.
I know.
And he'll probably go on and do great things.
Hope he's got a goalie.
But
That's the only way Craig Berube hockey works, is if he has elite goaltending. It's the only way it works.
Here we go.
can you say what do you do in the stretch of games when you kind of get that deflated feeling
Look at his face,
from
man.
the players?
I don't know why they would be deflated after we gave up, as a power play goal. We broke a stick. We're trying to get a stick. They scored a goal, but big deal. We played a good first period. I don't know. I don't understand that thought process that you don't follow it up and be ready to go in the second and know that they're going to make a push and. We don't respond well enough. So I don't really understand this deflated stuff, to be honest with you. I think it's a cop-out.
Considering how
Now, that's a coach going at his team. And by the way, this guy, I think Craig Berube, the person, is probably a great guy. Everything I've heard about Berube is he's
Why do we gotta always do this?
It's like a third time this show.
I'm fucking doing it. But this guy,
Glengarry Glen
this
Ross.
guy is done. This guy's done with these guys. And he is coaching to get his next gig.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him for that. That's part of it. I just wish it wasn't happening on my time.
I get this feedback a lot, and it's valid. It's completely valid.
Negative.
No.
Actually, you probably like this because the numbers are going up when they're losing, right?
Not anymore.
Exactly.
Not anymore. People don't care about this hockey team.
I know. No, them losing is bad, by the way.
Yeah. No, yeah. I know. I'm not doing this again. I was right the first time.
Okay.
But with Craig Berube, people go, listen, man, how is it the coach's fault when it's the team that does this and that and that? It doesn't need to be the coach's fault, or they don't need to be the principal person that's at fault. It's a coach's job to motivate. It's a coach's job to strategize and obviously manage the bench. It's also the coach's job to get the message across. That's part of the gig. You could argue it's the most important part of the gig. You could be the best strategist, the most motivational, lovely, flowery person. And if you can't get your team to follow through on the things that you're telling them, then you're not a good coach. And you're certainly not a match.
If a team is deflated and Easton Cowan says, I think we are all deflated after that, it is your responsibility to coach the team in a way that they will not be deflated. That's on you, not on the players.
I don't know what kind of coach this team needs. I don't. But it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. You see the relationship that coaches who have had a lot of recent success have with their teams. It's largely positive. The boys in Florida would die for Paul Maurice. They would die for that guy.
Oh, yeah.
John Cooper, I think completely different style than Paul Maurice. They'd die for him too.
Do you think we'd ever see a video of the Leafs in the middle of a really tough playoff series, all going and getting blizzards together?
Probably not.
And then them just making a whole
PR
thing
probably
about,
wouldn't let them put the picture up.
hey, we got blizzards and now we're getting a blizzard sponsorship for a guy from the East Coast and everything's awesome.
Well, and that's leadership not from the coaching staff. That's from another guy.
But I believe that's coaching staff down.
Yes.
100%. Paul Maurice, whenever you hear him talk, when he's in between the huffs of his farts, he's talking about how much the guys love each other and how much they hang out. And it's all about being a team. And whether it's on the players, like, I don't want to just make it all about the coach because some of it's on the players and the attitudes that they bring to the table too. But it's a group mentality. And I think from Craig Barube down to the core of this team, nobody has that bonding team attitude when they go out on the ice.
No, like, I think it's a miserable experience being a Leaf right now. Miserable. Like, it's gotta be fun showing up to the rink.
Oh my God.
Like I think a big part of how long the season is. It's so long. A big part of that is you all got to get along. You all got to vaguely, at least, enjoy each other's company. And you got to enjoy showing up to the rink every day. Oh, my God. These last 11 games are ceremonial. Like, they're to honor the ticket.
So
it's already been sold, basically. Like, these guys are done. Their season ended probably at least 2 weeks ago.
So let me ask you this. And Arun Things, you guys should follow him. He's a great Leaf reporter. He said
Arun's great.
I love him.
Always down there.
He said, rather than shutting him down due to a lingering knee injury with the playoffs out of reach, the Leafs instead play Matthew Knies a team-high 24 minutes and 30 seconds where he records no shots on goal in a 5-2 loss to the Senators.
Yeah, they gotta take the wheel away from Craig. Like,
like, what are we doing?
The Leafs haven't made a decision that's made any sense all season long. All season long. And this is why I'm so harping on everything.
Where is Brad? Where is
he can be gone too. They need to, I'm going to say this every show until they do it. They need to end the cycle of, I just got here. So let's not fire Brad. Okay? Let's create a hypothetical scenario where we don't fire Brad Treliving. Berube's gone, right?
Yeah.
100%? Okay. So Brad fires Craig Berube. A year from now, what happens?
Brad gets fired.
Yes! We all know that's what's happening. And they probably, let's say they bring in a president. Or actually, they don't need to for this exercise. They don't need to.
Well, they're going to, but yeah.
Okay, so they bring in a president.
It's going to be Doug.
And they bring in Doug.
Jim, no.
And Doug
That'd be way better.
Gasses Brad a year from now. Who just coached the Leafs for the next year?
Bruce Cassidy, hopefully.
Okay. Doesn't matter what his resume is or how good of a coach he is.
He's now a lame duck.
He's not the new guy's guy.
Yeah. That's why you got to get them both.
And I just got here and we're going to do the cycle again. Stop!
You know what I want to that point?
Start anew.
Yeah.
Hey, well, okay. So people will say to you, Steve, and I think that's a good point you raise. People will say to you, well, by firing them, you're encouraging I just got here. Here's what I want.
No, You're not. You're encouraging a cohesive management team.
Yes. Here's what I want. I want a guy who goes, I just got here, and this is all my problem now, and I'm going to be extremely active. Watch for me.
Yeah. No, I just got here, and this bullshit is over.
Yeah. No. It's not, I'm going to sit back and watch. No. I took this job because I did research on the team that was trying to hire me, and this is the plan that I have. What do they talk about, politics aside, with the presidency in the United States? One of the things that's really important is the first 100 days. You have to get your policy stuff done in the first 100 days.
That's across any president.
That is, and that's true for executives, that's true for prime ministers, whatever. But I'm just trying to make it in a way that people will understand.
Sure.
Right? I want a guy who's not like, hey, man, I just need to do some research. I've done the research. That's why I'm here. They hired me because I have a plan. And this is the plan. I can't share every detail with you, but this is our brand. It's not no honor, no courage, no guts, or whatever they have on the fucking wall. It's, here's the plan. The plan is to be this. The Toronto Maple Leafs brand is this. And even though there will be times we don't hit it, We will strive every day to be this thing, whatever it is.
I don't think Adam realizes how right he is. Do you know what's 100 days from now? And this is why they need to fire Brad Treliving immediately. Do you know what 100 days from now?
July 1st?
It's July 1st.
Really? Hey, that's crazy. Damn.
You nailed it.
Hey, did you like the thing you just watched?
Was it?
Back on, baby. Let's go. Third period of this yucky game. Leafs were bad in the first period, but scored a bunch, and then they scored again at the beginning of the second. And then something else happened, and the Rangers scored 2 goals to get it back. Oh, and something else was the Rangers played really great, and the Leafs were horrible. I've seen some debate in the chat about Dakota Joshua being worth his cap hit. And I would say that, no, he has not been worth his cap hit, but that's not really looking at the full picture. When he signed that contract, he was coming off an incredible year with the Vancouver Canucks, and he was a dog in the playoffs for them. He was amazing. He's playing with Connor Garland. He was spectacular. Then he got cancer, or was diagnosed with cancer that summer, had chemotherapy last year, and then midway through the season came back after chemo treatments. And though it was a good emotional story, he obviously never regained his form. And it's hard when you miss training camp and the first 3 months of the season with chemo. And then this year, he got injured. He was off a little bit early, and then he got injured. And then he came back, and he was playing well. And then he, all of a sudden, I think it was after a Boston game, lacerated spleen. Like, what? So it's I kind of feel bad for him. He hasn't had the chance the last couple of years to really get his game back on planet Earth. And I actually think that should he get a full healthy season, so like even just a healthy summer and training camp, I think you're going to see a lot better Dakota Joshua next season. But I don't think you're going to get, I don't think you're going to see what he can be obviously this year. I mean, there's no time left anyway, but it's just, a couple of lost seasons for him. I feel bad for him. It's just, that's the one thing I'll say is that, like, I like Dakota Joshua a lot. I actually believe in his talent, and I think he's going to be very good for the Leafs, and I do think he'll be worth it the last couple of years of that deal. It's only 2 more years after this one at 3.25. He's a big body. He tries hard. He fights guys. Like, I like this guy, and I think he's he's a good depth piece for them. Whatever. 18:31 left in the period. Now, I will say this, the shots, 31-15. Look at all those empty seats. I know there's a lot of people who have still not come out, but Jesse's been saying it's bizarre in the arena because a lot of people that are there, especially in those prime seats, are just not coming out for periods, and they're hanging down and seeing the game on the monitors. There's a whole like restaurant and box section area underneath the seats there in the arena. So a lot of people are just like, yeah, screw it. I'm simply not coming out to watch that. Oh, Pretzel Hunt says he didn't take chemo. Dakota had radiotherapy. Well, even so, either way, not easy. Not easy. Jeff Liberty Band says, I think this team was fractured during the second round last year. All the camaraderie went out the window. They've struggled to get it back. You're the first one to really kind of bring that up. I don't know. Like, do you just lose confidence when you lose the way that they did those 2 home games, Game 5 and Game 7? I can see that. I mean, it happened to the LA Kings. It was DJ Smith that said that earlier. Max Domi's making a quick break here. Gets the puck down and around to Matthew Nyes. Out there with him is Nick Robertson, who already has a goal tonight. He's been all over the ice. Looked good. He's one of the few Leafs that have actually looked good tonight. Dude Tastic says, is there any plans for streaming the playoffs? Would love for you guys to cover the Habs games. Keep up the good work. Absolutely. We always stream the playoffs. And listen, if we only streamed the Leafs, we wouldn't have much to stream in the playoffs, as you guys know. So last year, I actually streamed the Habs first round series. And this year, Steve, I believe, is going to do the Montreal Canadiens. I will be doing what is turning out to be the Edmonton Vegas series. So I'll get to see a lot of Mitch Marner. I always do the Western Conference games. I like doing the late games. They're lots of fun. They're a little bit more intimate, and it allows me to put my kid down and be a good dad, and then I can come into work and work. So I think we're going to do. I think we're going to do that, and I think Jesse is going to take another series. And I don't know if it's going to be a late night series or if it's going to be an early series, but it would basically be if Steve was on the Monday with the Montreal game, then Jesse would be on the Tuesday, and I'm just going to be on whenever the Edmonton game is on, which is late. So that's how we're going to handle it. We'll handle that way for the first 2 rounds, and then I'll probably do the West final like I normally do. Steve will do the East final like he normally does. Jesse will pivot to baseball, I would think. And then Steve will do the Stanley Cup finals. So yeah, we'll be streaming. And you know what I do? I love the playoffs. Like if I had a studio in my house, and one day I will, I'm absolutely, I think like unequivocally going to be doing 2 series at once. That's what I'd love to be doing right now. I don't know if I can pull it off this year with having to drive into the studio. I'll have to talk to my wife. She might kill me. But basically, it'd be working every night for the first round for a couple of weeks. Maybe it's survivable because there's a couple of series in that first round in the West. Specifically, the one I'm thinking about is the Wylde and the Stars. That would be insane. So maybe, I don't know, I'll talk to the guys. Maybe I can do 2. But I tried to do it last year, and they're like, Adam, that's too much. Like, you got to chill. You're going to burn yourself out. So we'll see what happens. I love the late night streams, though. They're so much fun. Also, we have to have producers and staff available. It's not just me, right? Like, we got to have people here available to do it. So that's the other thing that kind of gets in the way. Yeah, Justin's not happy about this. Skipper says, earlier this season, I called buying a Myers jersey if the Leafs came back on Steve's streams. I forgot to let him know that I've received it. Skipper, you got to send us a picture. Send us a picture of that. info@sdpn.ca. We want to see that. And I'm pretty sure he's Justin Fisher's favorite player. Justin, who is running our chat right now. Right, Justin? Favorite player. Nylander. Maddie just asked me if Vegas is going to the playoffs. Yes. They are currently second in their division, but their division is horrible. So now it's between Edmonton and Vegas to figure out which one of these dummies wants home ice advantage. But it will be Edmonton and Vegas unless the Ducks randomly just start losing every game, but I don't think they will. Maddie thinks that Vegas is going to get swept. You know what? Let me ask you, chat. Who do you take in a Vegas Oilers series? I want your predictions. And who do you take and how many games does it take? I got to know that. Michelle Miller, 15:50 left to go in the third period. Oilers in 6, Oilers in 5. Oilers, Vegas has Mitch Marner. Oilers in 4, Oilers in 5. Edmonton in 6. Everybody's saying Oilers. Yeah. It's weird this year, but you know what? I got to say, like, the thing about them is, like, Edmonton and Vegas played last year in the playoffs. Like, I did that series too. And Edmonton had them finished in 5 games. So if the Oilers go and, like, say, sweep the Vegas Golden Knights, I would just switch to another series. Oh, out front, Nyes made a great play. Joshua was fighting for the puck, got it down low. Nyes got it, tried to get it out front, managed to, but Shesterkin made a great save on Max Domi. Barube reacting says, it depends on Draisaitl being healthy. If he is, it's a gentleman's sweep. If he isn't, it's a 7-gamer. That's true. Draisaitl's got to play in that series for it to be Edmonton. Like, that is a big if, and I do think, oh, what a great save by Joe Woll. Terrible defense in front of the net. Awful. Gavrikov had an opportunity he should not have had. But the Leafs defense is just completely disconnected. Somehow, with 14 shots in this damn game, the Toronto Maple Leafs are winning 34 shots for the New York Rangers. Whew, crazy. Market manager Mike says, I could see Edmonton missing the playoffs. I can't. Their division's awful. The Edmonton Oilers are not missing the playoffs. Neither are Vegas. Maybe they miss the playoffs if they're in another division, but they're not. They're in the worst division in the sport. They're going to be fine. They are going to make the playoffs. And I think they're going to the second round. That's bad TV. Have you seen the prices for game-worn jersey auctions? No, but I can imagine they're very large. It's very expensive. I would think. I don't even know where to go for those. Like, do you do eBay or something else? Like, I'm a big eBay guy. I don't like to buy things new. I like to buy them secondhand. Like, at least where you can. Clothes and stuff you buy new where possible. But if you got, like, if there's like a designer piece or whatever, you can find a lot of great stuff used, and you might as well, right? If it fits you, it's great. So I don't know. Where do you find these jerseys? That's Bad TV says one of these game-worn jerseys was $30K the other day. Which one? Colt 289 says they are $10,000 plus. Wow. Oh, the NHL auction site. Yeah. I forgot that existed. Man, it's crazy. The Leafs used to do these equipment sales where you could pick up these great sticks for like $40. And like you could buy gloves for like $50 or $60. Now they take them and they put them online and people bid them up. And they're making so much money off of game used gear. It's crazy. Zach says, Adam, if the Rangers lose in any fashion tonight, they will be eliminated from the playoffs. Well, all good things must come to an end, Zach, including this season. It's been a Cinderella run for them. But, they can leave with their head held high. Viper says that's rich people things. Yeah, the thing about those jerseys and stuff, too, is there are a lot of them. So I do wonder, like, if you're paying $10K for a game used jersey, is it Connor McDavid's jersey or is it Steven Lorentz's jersey? Like, am I getting Matthias Janmark or am I getting Zach Hyman? Like, who am I getting for $10,000? Can somebody tell me? What's it like? Are we talking like superstar games or are we talking like, oh, this is what Simo Benoit wore in the preseason? Just wondering. Anybody know? Oh, you're getting Yarncroke for $10,000? Yeah, I just wouldn't pay that. That's just not worth $10,000 for me. David Kampf jersey for 10. Jimmy says Yarncroke, last NHL game worn jersey, $10K. No thanks. It's $650 for a Pizzetta sweater at Real Sports right now. Wow. Pizzetta's played 3 games for the Leafs, man. And I love Michael Pizzetta. Like, really nice guy. He was in the office in November for the Movember campaign we did. He was awesome. Like, really good dude. Always root for him. But $650 for that? That's bonkers. Oh, Johnny Bower jersey for $10K. Now, there's something, if I had an extra $10,000 and I was like, I don't know what to do with it, I would do a Johnny Bower. That'd be cool. That would be a statement piece for like a really nice basement, Here, I'm going to have a Johnny Bower jersey and a Doug Gilmour jersey and a Matt Sundin jersey. Different eras. It's 5-0 Yankees, 7 hits, and Judge is 0-3. It's almost like Aaron Judge in the playoffs. Somu Singh says, the only thing resembling a Blues jersey I have got on clearance at Costco. So this conversation feels super foreign to me. Well, listen, I don't buy that stuff. I I have not bought a lot of NHL memorabilia. In fact, I don't think I've bought any, really. I just have my jerseys at home that I wear for like events or when we go to games or whatever. Steve's the one that one time I remember Steve messaged Jesse and I, and he's like, there's some Felix Potvin pads available on eBay right now, and they're worth, I forget what they were selling for. It wasn't crazy, but the guy claimed they were game worn, but I'm like, do we know that they're game worn? Do we know that they're game worn? Steve never ended up going for them, but it was still kind of cool. Somebody just said Justin Hull jersey 10K. I can't imagine. I cannot imagine that. My parents got me a Matthews jersey in Nashville for like $12 US 8 years ago. Yeah. I'm not surprised. Leafs working their way through the second minute of a power play right now. 34-16 are the shots. Leafs being outshot by almost, well, more than double. Yuck. David Clarkson jersey for 10K. Justin said, we've got a whole jersey closet at the office. Well, we got several. The jersey closet upstairs in the kitchen is mine. It's all of my jerseys, including my St. Pat's jersey and my Boston and Tampa Stadium Series jerseys. And we've got a ton of those, the New York third jerseys from this year. The light blue ones from Fanatics. Very, very nice in person. It's too bad the Rangers stink this year because those are very nice jerseys. Silent Rob said, can you get the game-used Adams Devils pajamas? They might be a little too tight to the body for you to actually want to own those. Natalie Drake says, you're not keeping the Hakanpää jersey forever? That's a Maddie question. Maddie is the one that has the Hakanpää jersey. Oh, I didn't see that. I wonder how much you could sell that for if it was game used. You know, it would be really rare because Hakanpää played 2 games last year. 9:17 left in the third period. Waiting on the Rangers to tie this up because honestly, it feels inevitable. The Leafs are just super bad. They are completely out of juice. Hard to know if they ever had juice, to be honest. McCabe gets the puck up. Skating after that is Yarncroke. Barube is going to love that hustle. Rah, 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 rah. Bo Grew taking a shift away from Jake Quillen because Barube hates Jake Quillen. He's really trying to win this game, is Craig Barube. And he's like, you know what? Jake Quillen might stop that from happening. I won't play him. Natalie Drake says, I once bought a Kippersoft jersey used online, and when I got it, it was toddler size. This was not disclosed. Oh, that sucks. It's like those Temu purchases that you see people have on TikTok where it's like, this is how it fit the model. All right, now here's how it fit me. And it's terrible. All right. Tell me this. Chat, tell me, what is your most valuable piece of sports memorabilia that you own? I got to know. Josh says, I have 2 Cali Rosen game-used Leaf jerseys and a Keith Petruzzelli, which I had him autographed a couple of weeks ago. Wow. I have an Al Unser Jr. signed ticket. You mean the NASCAR driver? That's cool. Signed Ray Bork hockey stick. Justin Jefferson signed helmet. Justin Jefferson, really? Ray Bork, Justin Jefferson, Ed Belfour signed jersey. I'm a Devils fan, and even I would wear a Schaefer jersey. Bobby Orr autograph poster. Vesa Toskala jersey. There must be so few out there. A 1994 Pavel Bure All-Star jersey. Did he sign it? I got a game-used autographed Trevor Kidd stick. I love it. Mario Lemieux rookie card. A Rick Vaive jersey. Cyclones. Oh, Justin Vaive jersey from the Cyclones. He's Rick Vaive's son. Okay. Marty St. Louis game-worn Finals jersey? What? You must have paid $80 gajillion billion for that. Joe Perez says, I have a Blue Jays ticket stub from 1993. It was a school trip. Get out. That's cool. How about a game used Steve Dangle jersey for $10K? I don't know if you could get $10K for that. As great as Steve is, I don't think so. What else we got? I have a Morgan Riley stick. I want the Morgan Riley stick he used to cross-check Ridley Grigg. Nicholas has a signed Darcy Hordichuk stick. Here come the Leafs, by the way. Tavares with the shot. Oh, my God, and he rips it over the shoulder of Shesterkin. Somehow the Leafs, even though they're playing like horseshit, are winning this game. What a shot by Tavares. I thought he was going to pass the cow in there. Whoa. Baby, this game has been all Rangers since the start of the second period, and it doesn't matter. John Tavares, what a goal. Blocks the shot, creates the opportunity himself. Before Gavrikov can cut the angle, he takes the shot, and it's a beautiful shot over the shoulder of Shesterkin, who's down just a little bit too early, and you know Shesterkin's pissed about that. You can see that. Oh, wow. That's a hell of a goal. Yeah, he loved that. That's a big smile from John Tavares, who's not usually that emotive. Oh, Sabres. People are telling me the Sabres have scored 2 goals in 30-something seconds. So the Sabres are now up 3-2 over the Bruins. Uh-oh. Boston, do you hear the footsteps? Oh, my God. The Islanders are right behind you. Detroit's right behind you. They might catch you. Crypto Code said, why are the Leafs winning? Because the Rangers are bad. Even though they've outplayed the Leafs all game, the Rangers are bad. $7-11 left in this third period, and the Toronto Maple Leafs are winning 4-2 somehow. Shesterkin's just had a terrible night. Let's just be honest. Zach says, yep, I'm done. Zach is a Rangers fan. Remember, if the Rangers lose in any fashion tonight, oh, it's Zibanejad with a beautiful goal. The Rangers are back in. We got a slobber knocker here at Scotiabank Arena. Can I also just say that, yuck, that goal was disgusting. Good for him. Nice goal. Mixed Heart Productions. Where's Matthews? He's in ghost mode. It's funny. I like that. That's a hell of a goal. Look at that. Perreault just sets him up perfectly, but Zibanejad, that's vintage Zbad right there. Whoa. Joseph Wool's pants are in another postal code. Holy smokes. Yeah, I hope Zach didn't leave too early. He said, wait, I'm not done. Zach, don't go anywhere, buddy. You can't miss the stunning conclusion of these two titans of sports. 1, 2, just rock 'em, sock 'em, robot. Here we go. Here comes William Nylander across the blue line, and the Leafs are offside, and that'd be Easton Cowan. Viper calls this a heavyweight matchup. I would say so. Again, I was calling this the blue and white and suck bowl. Hey, we're blue and we're white. We're both blue and white, and we both suck. The battle of the bat. Oh, I like that. Justin calls it the battle of the baddies. Oh, I like that, Matt. I thought that was Justin. Josh says the Titans of suck. The tank pole, says Liam Patrick. And Nylander's trying to find Easton Cowan, a beautiful pass. But unfortunately, can't beat the Rangers defense. They were wise to him. He does make the pass down low. Quillen is there. I don't know why Quillen's there. I guess Tavares needed to shift off. So Music says, how about we call this the stoppable force and meets the movable object? I love it. I love it. The Freak Show, $1 billion Batty Bowl. I like that too. The Toilet Bowl, you know? Natalie Drake, the Super Bowl or the Superb Bowl, you know? This is good. This is, you guys are funny tonight. You guys have it going on. Oh, you know, I'm glad the Rangers scored there because if the Leafs had just held a 4-2 lead till the end of the game, it wouldn't be as fun. You and I both want this to go to overtime. Hell yeah, we do. Overtime, here we come. Hell yeah. You know what? Let's get this to overtime. Ice Knight says we need JT and OT. No, we don't. I love John Tavares, but I think he's a little slow. He gets kind of exposed in overtime. By the way, they keep promoting this movie where this woman who's got awesome hair is killing people in rooms, and that she's got this axe that's on fire. What is this? And it's got Draco Malfoy in it. Isn't this just that other movie, which is the Getaway movie? And this is called They Will Kill You. Is anyone going to see that? They Will Kill You? Zach wants them, by the way, Zach, the Rangers fan, wants them going to OT. JT has been much faster since she shaved. Eating up like he used to do when he was on the island. To go next year, or is he done? Tanev will be good to go next year. Don't you worry. Christopher Tanev will play for the Leafs again. All right. Here we go. .5:48 left in the third period. Both teams have decided to turn up the suck. Rangers cannot get any goaltending. Leafs are only getting goaltending, which is crazy. It's quite the balance, actually. Leafs goaltending's been spectacular. Rangers goaltending awful. Leafs players awful. I would say Rangers players not bad. Not bad. Their 5-on-5 play has been pretty good. And a couple of power play goals, too. One by Zibanejad and one by Alexis Lafreniere. Alex92 says, but will Riley play for the Leafs again? I think if they do their job, Morgan Riley's probably not here next year. They need some changes on that back blue line. But, you know, knowing the Leafs, it was hard, so we couldn't. Sorry. That's probably the answer we end up getting. Oh, it was so hard. Life's hard. I get paid $5 million. I can't do anything, said Leafs general manager, insert name here. It's been funny, man. I actually kind of think it's crazy how little Treliving has done to the roster this season. Kind of nuts, considering how bad they've been. I was really surprised the Rangers didn't trade Trocheck. Whatever they were asking for him must have been crazy high. Taco said he just got here. Yeah. As I told you a couple shows ago, the next general manager that Leafs better not give you that he's just got here. He better give me, I got a plan. Our brand is going to be these things, and it's going to take a little bit of time to get there, but that's the plan. That's as much of the plan as I'm willing to share with you, and we're going to go to work, and we're going to go to work now. Burps McGurps, I asked Steve this, but I'll ask you, would you trade Riley for Trent Frederick? Bad contract for Brent, bad contract, but Frederick is young and cheap. No. I would much rather have Morgan Riley. I think Trent Frederick's injury a couple years ago in Boston, or was it last season, whatever it was, he's never recovered from it. He's not the same guy. He was a very effective player. And the Leafs don't need more bottom six players. They all stink. Oh, I think Morgan Riley is more of a, hey, we traded him to Vancouver to give them some veteran help, and we got a third-round pick, second-round pick. I don't know. That's what I think it kind of looks like. All right, let's check in on the Sabres and the Bruins here. 3-2 Sabres with 9:26 left to go in that game. Damn, dude. That's crazy. If the Bruins drop this both sides of this back-to-back, like you can understand them losing to the Sabres on the second half of a back-to-back. But losing to the Leafs? Hey, Anthony Stolarz made a great catch at the bench there. The puck was going into his face, but he's a goalie, so he's good at that. Good save. 3:20 left in the third. Tool fan says, Adam, you should do the last 5 of the Boston Sabres game, please. You know what? Normally I would, but I have to do Nailing the Apex right after this, and I can't leave Tim just waiting on the line for me. So I think normally I would, but I cannot do that. And also Justin and Maddie have lives that they probably want to get back to. So I can't do it today, but normally I would. 2:50 to go. Oh, Robertson makes a turnover. Creates a turnover. Down to Shesterkin. 2:43 left. Look for the Rangers to try to pull their goalie now. I would think it's going to happen pretty soon. Shot attempt 72-38 for the New York Rangers. I can't stress this enough. The Rangers have absolutely dominated the Leafs in this game. Like, absolutely wrecked shop. And Joseph Woll's been phenomenal. They're almost at 40 shot. The Leafs are barely at almost 20. It's just unpleasant out there. Zach is out after the 4-2 goal, and then Zibanejad scored, and he was back so quick. But we won't tell anyone, Zach. You were there the whole time. You're a diehard Rangers fan. You'd never abandon them, even in their time of need. Less than 2 minutes to go here. Cowan with the play up to Nylander. Nylander 1-on-2 shot. That hit a leg. Nylander burning time to McCabe. McCabe already has a goal in this game. Shot. That goes off a leg. And we got a break here. Lafreniere with a shot. Joe Woll with a great save. He's been great all game. Laff tried to go fiver. And Will Borgen is down. And he's holding his ankle? Is it? Did he get hit with a puck? I think he blocked the Jake McCabe shot, and he is in serious pain. This is what we need right now. If you're a Ranger fan, you're like, yeah, for sure. Love this for us. We're losing a game where we're killing the opponent, and Will Borgen is going down. Great. I think it was the, it was the Willie shot. Or did he get hit again by Jake McCabe? Oh, he took 2 shots off the same leg. One off the ankle, one off the inside of the knee. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Woo! Damn, Will Borgen. Talk about sacrificing the bod. That just stings. 93 seconds left in this game, guys. There is a Doug Gilmour amount of seconds left in this game. Morgan looks like he's going to be okay, which is good. All right. Madison said, Zach, I'm sorry for your emotional roller coaster. Zach, the Rangers fan, is going through all the emotions right now. He quit on them, then he got excited, and now one of his favorite defensemen is down. Zach, it's been a rough time for you, buddy. Rangers with the empty net. Tavares. Oh, they're fighting for that puck, and he tried to get possession, but the Rangers just kind of squeaked it away, and they've got it along the boards. Leafs are going to try to keep them pinned. Carlo McCabe out there on defense for the Leafs. Willie, Nyes, and Tavares out as well. And a shot at the side of the net. Joseph Woll is able to get that one. Adam Fox to Gavrikov. Down low to Fox out, shot. Where's the puck? Nobody knows where it is. Fox again. Zibanejad for the hat trick. And that shot is blocked. 55 seconds. Zibanejad along the board to Fox. Back to Zibanejad. Zibanejad with a shot, and that is gloved by Joseph Woll. Lafreniere tried to whack that out of Woll's hand. McCabe's having none of it, pushing that away, and there's some pushing and some shoving. Welcome to all the new viewers who have missed out on what is got to go down as one of the weirdest games we've watched this season. The New York Rangers dominating the Leafs, and yet the Leafs somehow have the magic touch in scoring goals, and that's all because of this guy, Joseph Woll. No, he didn't score any goals, but man, did he make some great saves, and there is a New York Rangers timeout. Zach says his cortisol level is spiking right now. 42 shots from the Rangers, but only 3 goals. Listen, let me tell you something. Everybody that's in such a hurry to trade Stolarz and Woll, the reason that they won last night and the reason that they're in the lead tonight is those 2 goalies. Can get a semi-competent team on the ice in front of Woll or Stolarz next year. This team's going to the playoffs. I'm telling you. These goalies are good when healthy. And let's not forget about Hildeby. Here we go. Trocheck and Tavares taking the faceoffs. And Tavares loses the faceoff to Trocheck. Back to Fox. Shot by Gavrikov. Oh, that was Zibanejad on the other side. What am I saying? That was not Gavrikov. And Nylander feathers the puck out, but JT Miller is back. That puck was going wide anyway. 34 seconds to go in this game, and the New York Rangers are going to have to be real quick about this one. Vinny Trocheck back past is Zibanejad, who's got 2 tonight. Zibanejad to Trocheck. McCabe gets in the way of that pass, and the puck goes out. I think this faceoff is going to come just outside the Leafs' blue line. 25 seconds to go. Are the Leafs going to win this game? Here we go. Justin says the Leafs have great goaltending, but they have no trade value. Got it. Totally understand. They're not healthy. That's the problem. That's the problem. They're not healthy. Listen, I'm just going off of what smarter people in hockey are telling me. Oh, we're going to have a penalty. We got a little bit of a brouhaha here. McCabe's just getting into it. Look at Brandon Carlo hugging a bunch of guys. They're like slow dancing at a preteen dance over there. Lafreniere and Carlo looking at each other. It's the end of the night. Songs are getting slow, and McCabe is going to the box. Oh man, he hit Perreault hard. Oh yeah. Bit of a dangerous hit, not going to lie. Look at the Rangers standing up for their guy. So it's 2 minutes for cross-checking for McCabe. Okay. All right. .2 seconds to go. 4-3 Toronto. Will this game end up in overtime? Will Zach survive? Yanni Havisto says half the league would love to have our goalies Hill to be included, especially Vancouver, Nashville. Well, yeah, Nashville's got Annunen and Saros. I think with Toronto, you just keep the goalies, man. You're not getting much on the trade market. I'm just saying. This is what I'm not pulling this out of my ass. People are saying this to me. I'm asking the question. They're going, yeah, it's not great. I like it though. Leaf goalies are undervalued. 10 seconds to go in this game. Sorry, Rangers. It looks like you're about to lose. Uh-oh, Fox. Open. 4 seconds. Zibanejad with a shot. And it's over, baby. The Maple Leafs win. 2 games in a row. And Joseph Woll deserves about 40 million steak dinners right now. because he saved this flippin' game for them. Leafs tank is going terribly, but hey, they've won a couple of games back-to-back. That's weird, right? That's super weird. Yankees are winning 7-0, and Aaron Judge is 0-4 with 4 strikeouts. Amen. Skipper says, I just emailed you a pic of the Myers jersey. Thank you, Skipper. Row Live 95 says, did these fools really win 2 straight? They sure friggin' did. Plan the parade. Let's go. Maybe the Leafs won't be all that bad next year. Maybe they will. We don't really know. Anyway, guys, unfortunately, I must leave you. But Justin and Maddie have both had extremely long days, and I got to let them go. And I got to do my show with Tim. But I just want you to know that it's going to be up at 5 a.m. tomorrow. I will be fast asleep in my bed. But nailing the apex is unstoppable. And it's coming at you. We got the Japanese Grand Prix this weekend. And of course, don't forget, Steve Dangle Podcast, brand new today. CJ Show tomorrow. Nailing the Apex tomorrow. Steve Dangle Podcast Friday. Jesse live streaming Friday night. Blue Jays baseball. And then Saturday night, Steve Dangle streaming a game as well. Hell yeah, brother. I love you all. Thank you for coming in for this really weird game. And thank you for coming in yesterday for that really weird game. We only got a few more Leaf games, and then it's going to be the playoffs, and we're going to be streaming the shit out of that too. All right? Love you all. See you later.